What's good? What's good? What's goody? What's goody? This is your boy, Tone DeShields II. You guys are locked in on your dose of Chalk It Up Sports, where no matter if we win or if we lose, we just got to charge it to the game. First and foremost, want to let you guys know how grateful I am to be in your presence. Super grateful that you guys are here kicking it with me. Make sure you guys smash that like button when you get the chance on the way in. Make sure you do it on the way out. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the show. My OG subscribers, thank you guys so much for locking in on the content the way you guys do. My new viewers, thank you guys so much for giving me a chance. I understand you guys have a plethora, a bevy of options, yet you guys chose to click on my show to give me a chance. And I promise you, I will do everything in my power to not disappoint. On top of that, make sure you guys definitely hit that notification bell. Make sure you guys fully aware whenever I go live. I know a lot of you guys that are here right now are here because that notification bell went off. So I appreciate you guys for being here, for being aware. And on top of that, you guys, like I said, you guys have been really, really amazing when it comes to supporting the new merch that's come out. Got to give you guys a lot of credit for that. A lot of you guys have bought it already. A lot of you guys have shown a lot of love on all the social medias. Got to give a ton of credit to my graphic designer, Jesse Wines. Got to give credit to my man, LB, as well, for pointing me in the direction of Jesse Wines. And nonetheless, man, you guys are tremendous. Want to give another shout out to my most recent giveaway winner. Want to give a shout out to Keisha White. Keisha White won our giveaway from last week, and she should have received that today. Maybe she's going to receive it at some point today, but I'm pretty sure she's received it. I haven't checked the tracking information today, but it was supposed to get there to you today, Keisha. So I hope you received that gift. Let me know when you do. Send me a photo of you with your gift, and that'd be really dope to see. Also want to give a shout out to my previous giveaway winners, Jameer Adams and Mark Johnson. Really do appreciate those guys. My man Mark Johnson, he showed improved, man. He won the Kelly Green snapback. So shout out to my man. Shout out to my man Mark Johnson. I really do appreciate the love and the support. You guys can check that out on Twitter. I posted a picture of him, gave him his flowers. So yeah, make sure you guys smash that like button before you get too comfortable. Make sure you kick your feet up, take your shoes off. Make sure you get your beverages, get your snacks. It's the afternoon. Some of you guys are still at work. Maybe some of you guys got off a little early. Maybe some of you guys are actually going into your shift. Whatever it may be, I appreciate you guys for being here and making me a part of your day-to-day. Now, oh, wow. Let me just knock this super chat out real quick. Wow. Shout out to my man, Austin. Austin came out the gate busting. Austin with the $9.99 donation. Thank you so much, Austin. Really do appreciate the love and the support, my friend. He says, best Eagles podcast in the game. Wow. Wow. Austin. I don't take that lightly, man. I don't take that for granted. And I dedicate a lot of my time to making sure the show goes well. I do a lot of research. I read a lot. I watch a lot of different videos. I try to lean on my connections and the people that I have met in this industry and try to get the 411 on anything that may be going on. But overall, man, it's just effort, hard work, and consistency. And that's all I can really do, man. And honestly, it's you guys, right? You guys make the show. The show doesn't move. The show doesn't have legs without you guys. So understand your power, Austin. And I appreciate you for investing in the channel. It means a lot to me. And shout out to my man, none other than Weapon X Eagles Media. He does great work. His content is awesome. And yeah, shout out to him. So let's get into the content, man. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. By the way, almost forgot. I have a special guest coming on at 4 p.m. Eastern time, 3 p.m. Central time, 2 p.m. Mountain time, 1 p.m. Pacific time, and that may be 12 p.m. or 11 a.m. Hawaiian time. So make sure you guys stay locked in. This special guest is going to bring the energy, going to bring the electricity. It's going to be really fun. This is actually a really fun guest. You guys know this person very, 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 very well. And he's nothing but energy. He's a fireball, actually. So I appreciate you guys for staying locked in. That guest is going to be here in about 30 minutes or so, about 24 minutes to be exact. So yeah, man, let's get this thing going. I was how can I put this? I was locked in to Vic Fangio's press conference. I believe Vic Fangio had the most telling, how do you say, press conference of the day. A lot of people spoke. Saquon spoke today. Devin White spoke. Who else? A lot of people spoke, man. Some of the press conferences were from the day before. They just they just uploaded them on YouTube or whatever. Johnny Wilson, I believe his press conference was released. Jeremiah Trotter Jr.'s press conference was released. Trevor Keegan, the rookie, guys like that. CJGJ obviously had the most notable press conference from yesterday. I'm actually going to revisit that later on. But Vic Fangio spoke. That was live. And we're going to take step by step. He gave praise to CJGJ, for having a strong camp thus far and always being where he needs to be, right? It's funny. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson made it very clear that he's not taking any prisoners in 2024. He's not entertaining any sort of revisionist history. He's not paying attention to the past. He's totally locked in on the present, and I appreciate that sentiment. CJGJ is probably one of the most important guys in that defense in terms of leadership, in terms of just his personality, and the energy he brings, and just his skill set. Right, the skill set, you need that. You need a guy that's going to play fast, a guy that's going to play fearless, a guy who's going to play the ball and potentially cause turnovers for the opposition. And he's done that in his career everywhere he's been. He's been a very physical, a very active guy, and he believes he's one of the best he's one of the best safeties in the league, and he deserves that respect. He deserves that respect. He just has to stay healthy, right? And we're going to talk about that later on. On top of that, Vic Fangio, he admitted that there's a ton of competition at that linebacker's position, and no decisions are even close to being made. Now, the Philadelphia Eagles did sign an additional linebacker. His name is Shaquille Quarterman. Shaquille Quarterman, he's entering his 5th season in the NFL, and he spent it all with the Jacksonville Jaguars. He was a 4th-round pick in the 2020 NFL Draft, and Shaquille Quarterman, he's not really a needle mover. Over the past 4 seasons, he only logged 171 total defensive snaps in comparison to his 931 special team snaps. Shaquille Quarterman is not going to be a needle mover at all. Probably just a camp body, somebody to take up snaps, whatever it may be, especially with that preseason game coming. They're going to need enough bodies out there so they don't have to play valuable pieces. So there's no real expectations with this signing at all. But when you couple the signing with Vic Fangio's speak about the linebacker room, frankly, the Philadelphia Eagles, they lack quality linebacker depth. Trotter is a rookie, so your expectations have to be moderate with him. Van Sumeren, he's more so a special teams guy. We haven't really seen him be able to make a difference on defense in the time he has been on the field. He's a physical guy, plays fast, but you got to curve your expectations with those young guys. Again, Trotter's young, rookie. Ben Van Sumeren, young guy, special teamer. And then Oren Burks, he's a veteran, but he hasn't practiced since day one of training camp. He's dealing with a nagging knee injury. And 9 times out of 10, his roster spot is going to be completely taken away from him, especially once the cut down day comes. But then again, you never know in terms of the depth. That's why, again, they signed Shaquille Quarterman. And then Nakobe Dean, he took a step back. And we're going to talk about what Vic Fangio said about Nakobe Dean today. That's kind of the crux of this conversation here. And we spoke about Nakobe Dean yesterday. And it's crazy how foresight works. I had no idea Vic Fangio was going to talk about Nakobe Dean the way he did today. And I'm not going to sit here and bloviate and pretend that he jumped out the window on Nakobe Dean, but he was very candid. He was very honest about Nakobe Dean, right? He was very honest. And he made it very clear that, early on in training camp, especially the first couple days, he felt like Nakobe Dean was pretty active. He was making a difference. He was making strides or taking strides in his game. But notice he said the first couple of days, they've been in training camp for 2 weeks? They're in week 3 of training camp. So you're telling me that Nakobe Dean has only shown you a solid first couple days in training camp. That's it. 2 days. A couple is 2. Me and my wife, we're a couple. That's 2 people. If you got a significant other, you guys are a couple. That's 2. Nakobe Dean has only shown you 2 quality days in the span of 8 or 9 days on the grass, 10 days on the grass, right? So that's not reassuring. And it falls in line with what I said yesterday about how we have to be concerned about Nakobe Dean's future with the Philadelphia Eagles. Again, I don't want to spend too much time harping on him, but that was very notable. Again, he said he felt Nakobe Dean had a strong first couple of days of camp, but then he took it a step further. And this is what I like about Vic Fangio. I like his candor. I like how he breaks the fourth wall, so to speak. He lets you in to what he's thinking. Now, he doesn't give you everything, but he definitely gives you something, right? And he's an old school guy. He understands that all his guys are going to hear his press conferences. But I'm willing to take it a step further and say there's nothing he says on that podium that those guys don't already know. Or there's nothing he said on that podium that he hasn't already said to those guys. He walks it like he talking. And the players understand how he moves. He's built up that equity in the league. So you can't question Vic Fangio. You can't question his football acumen. You can't question the football IQ. He's forgotten more football than we can ever remember. So to say he only had a first, again, Nakobe Dean, to say he only had a strong first couple of days, and then he takes a step back since the public practice at the link, and we talked about that. Kenny Gainwell was smoking his boots. That's not what you want to hear when you're trying to fight for not just a starting spot, you're fighting for a roster spot too. That's the reality. So it's not reassuring to hear what we heard from Vic Fangio about Nakobe Dean, right? Now, we haven't heard any bad things about Zach Bond. We haven't heard any bad things about Devin White. We also haven't heard extravagant things. Fangio mentioned Bond earlier on, right? And then when he's asked about the linebackers, he gives a general consensus or a general opinion, but he doesn't give you so much about those guys. But he's very candid about Nakobe Dean, but he's candid about everybody. If you ask him the right question. He was even talking about Cooper DeJean and how he'll fit back in, and he's missing crucial time. Cooper DeJean is missing crucial time, and there's a strong chance that Quinyon Mitchell starts the season as the nickel because he's their most versatile corner. Cooper DeJean and Quinyon Mitchell are the Philadelphia Eagles' most versatile corners. Darius Slay's not playing the slot ever. Isaiah Rodgers, he's not a slot corner. Keely Ringo, he's not a slot corner. But Quinyon Mitchell, he's young. He's still malleable, right? He's shown an ability to adapt to that role and do whatever coach needs him to do. So there's a strong chance Quinyon Mitchell starts the season at the nickel. And then you got Isaiah Rodgers and Darius Slay on the outside. Or it may be Keely Ringo and Darius Slay on the outside. It all remains to be seen. So Cooper DeJean, he needs to get back ASAP. Because I think the Philadelphia Eagles' original plan was to have DeJean fighting for that nickel spot. And then Quinyon Mitchell will be obviously fighting for the outside corner spot. But since they had to deal with that injury, they got to get a little creative here, which I respect because you want the best combination of talent on the football field, especially in that DB room, a position that you really lacked at last year. And you've historically lacked that, as a matter of fact. He brought up Jalen Hunt's transition to the NFL. He spoke about how it's very different. The speed of the game, the lingo, right? The intensity. It's very different from playing at Cornell, in the Ivy League and playing at Houston Christian. It's very, very different. But he mentioned how he's been grinding and he's picking things up quickly. And we've been told on more than one occasion how ahead of schedule he is and how, yes, he still has learning to do, but he's nowhere near the project that they thought he was. Right? And I'm going to get to a bunch of your comments, by the way. Let me cook. I got you guys. You guys know how we give it up here. Doubling back to the linebacker position, he mentioned how you cannot have a good defense if you don't have quality linebacker play. And I think that's why he's holding that linebacker room as accountable as he is. And I think it's also why Harry Roseman. No, let me take that back. Because Vic Fangio knows how important that linebacker position is, you got to ask yourself, Harry Roseman, at what point are you going to start taking the position seriously? Look, you signed Devin White. He still has a lot to prove to not only the Eagles, but to himself. Zach Bond, a lot to prove. Jeremiah Trotter, rookie, a lot to prove. Nakobe Dean, a lot to prove. But that linebacker room is mediocre, as far as we know. As far as we know. Because Devin White isn't really standing on the best ground in the league, right? Despite the Super Bowl championship and being a former Pro Bowler and All-Pro, right? He's kind of declined a little bit. Can he have a resurgence? I think he can. Will Zach Bond live up to the expectations that I have for him? I think he can. And again, I'm not asking for A-plus play from the linebacker position. I don't think that's reasonable right now. Can we get at the bare minimum B- linebacker play? B-. That's an 80%. Can we get B- linebacker play? And Fangio knows this defense will not be as good as it can be if those linebackers don't do their jobs. Hence why I don't think he trusts Nakobe Dean yet, because he doesn't trust Nakobe Dean to be able to do his job. Hence why he mentioned he took a step back. Many steps back, actually, since the public practice. Not a good place to be in. You know, he showed a lot of love to Milton Williams and how when he was with the Dolphins, you know, they were trying to trade for him. You know what I mean? Things like that. And, you know, he spoke about, you know, when it comes to that cornerback spot, right? You know, when you draft a cornerback in the first round, your intention is to play that player on the outside. You draft the cornerback in the first round, you want him on the outside. But the Eagles are in a unique situation with the Cooper DeJean injury, so they had to get creative. So they're utilizing Quinyon Mitchell in that slot, in my opinion, by necessity. Also, he's showing he's capable, but it's by necessity. Quinyon Mitchell will be an outside corner. But I think right now, the situation calls for him to be in the slot. They need the most talented guys out there. If they refuse to put Quinyon Mitchell in the slot, or if he didn't show an ability to do that, the Cooper DeJean injury, who plays? Avonte Maddox? Okay, he got to stay healthy too. Then beyond that, what, Zach McPherson or Tyler Hall? Not really that impressive. So I look at you know what Vic Fangio is saying, and I really like his perspective about this defense. He's taking it day by day. And on top of that, he's holding guys accountable. And he's not pulling his punches in those press conferences. You know, he was asked also about how the preseason rotations will go, right? You know, who's going to play, who won't play. Will we see starters, things of that nature. And he knows that starters, believe it or not, you guys, it's funny, this never really gets talked about. Believe it or not, starters like to play in the preseason. They like to knock that rust off. They like to get that first hit in. You feel what I'm saying? They want to play. But he mentioned how, you know, ultimately, you know, you want to be careful with that. You know, Nick Sirianni, he's going to address his preseason depth chart pretty soon, because the Eagles do have a game coming up, I believe, on Friday. I think it's Friday, right? They play the Ravens on the road. That preseason rotation and depth chart will begin to take shape. But we're not going to see starters out there that long. And to take it a step further, he mentioned how he believes the defense still has improving to do, especially when it comes to taking the ball away. They haven't forced any turnovers in the training camp right now. Now, we can debate here. Is this is this a product of Jalen Hurts being that good, or the defense being that bad? Because some of us want to, we can't have it both ways, right? Especially when we're judging this defense, right? If the defense was playing well, we say to ourselves, wow, Jalen Hurts has a lot of work to do. If Jalen Hurts is playing well, we say to ourselves, wow, That defense got a lot of work to do. So it's like you can't have it both ways. You obviously want the quarterback sharp, which is going to take an effect on the defense. So we got to just be mindful of that, right? We can't overreact to certain things. We can't overreact to how sharp Jalen Hurts has been. We can't overreact to the fact that they haven't taken the ball away. We got to be a little judicial about that. You follow me here? So overall, Vic Fangio's press conference was very telling. My biggest takeaway is that linebacker room is far from solidified. That linebacker room is far from where it's supposed to be. That's my largest takeaway. And before I get to your comments, you guys know what time it is. Make sure you guys, if you haven't already had the opportunity, you guys know how I give it up here, right? I always want to make sure that I take care of my people. Make sure you guys go cop your Chalk It Up Sports merchandise. The Apex Predator oversized tees, man. You see that link in the live chat. You also see it pinned to the top. This is what we're working with here, Philadelphia. This is what we're working on. You feel what I'm saying? This is the vibe we on. You dig me? Jalen Hurts is at the top of his game right now. And he's going to be on the top of his game when the season starts. He's at the apex. He's at the top. You feel what I'm saying? You see, they try to say Jalen Hurts is not going to be an MVP candidate. They say Jalen Hurts, he's plateaued. He's reached his ceiling. I beg to differ. This season, everybody is food. The apex predator is at the top of the food chain. Jalen Hurts will be at the top of the food chain, if not already. They try to say he's not a top 10 quarterback. You a damn lie. They try to say he's not even top 5 in his conference. You a damn lie. So make sure you guys go cop your Apex Predator Jalen Hurts oversized tees. They're so comfortable. They feel good on the skin. The artwork blends perfectly into the fabric. You guys see what I got on. I got on the tan one, otherwise known as eucalyptus. And we also got it in black. You dig me? Got that right here for you guys. Like I said, it looks very good in person. The colors are so vibrant. Shout out to my graphic designer, Jesse Wines. Make sure you guys cop your Apex Predator oversized tee from the Chalk It Up Sports merch shop. The links are posted everywhere. The links are on my channel. The links are on in the live chat. The links is at the bottom of the video. You can't miss it. You see, my links is on Twitter. The links is in the community page, in my Instagram bio, on Facebook. We smothering you guys with this, and I want you guys to know this is the type of time we on. This is the type of time we on, Philadelphia. The goal is to end the season on the top of the food chain. Everybody is food. Anybody can get it. It's straight like that. You know, I go on the social media. I go on the social sometimes, right? Twitter. You know, that's where all the shit talking is. Excuse my language, Mom. That's where all the trash talking is, and I promise I get to your comments before my guests get here. A lot of the trash talking going on, right? And I like to keep it humble. I like to be modest with my trash talk. But man, oh man, they just don't know what's coming this season. They just don't know what Jalen Hurts got in the tuck this season. But it's all good though. We gonna be on the right side of history. Like I said, the Apex Predator shirts comes in 2 colors. It comes in black and it comes in eucalyptus, otherwise known as tan. I love this color. A lot of people love this color. This is the highest selling color, believe it or not. You would think the black is, but people love the way this artwork blends into that tan, that eucalyptus. You dig me? So I appreciate you guys for always supporting the show. The links are available. You know, cop that when you get the opportunity. And let's just say you buy the wrong size, because it is an oversized fit. I'm wearing an extra large. I'm 6 feet tall, about 218, 220 pounds. So I'm wearing an extra large. I like the oversized fit. I don't like my shirts too tight these days. I like that streetwear look. You dig me? So just give you guys some reference. Make sure you guys go cop your Apex Predator oversized tees, man. We lit out here. It's straight like that. Let me get to your comments before my guests. So let's see here. Let's see what we got here. Davon Tyree says, I will be copping. Hey, I appreciate that, my brother. Flexing and Steppin says, nice promo. You already know my guy. Davon Tyree also says, best remaining linebacker free agents. Shaq Leonard, Zach Cunningham, Quan Alexander, Josh Woods. That don't sound too good. Joshua Mullins, he says they need to let the starters play for at least a drive. I think they will. Hey, my cousin Shania. What's up, Nay Nay? Nay Nay. It's my cousin. She says, I have a question. Do you think Jalen Hurts will progress? And what do you think about the organization trying to trade him to Tampa? That's not happening. That's not a story at all. But I think Jalen Hurts is going to have a tremendous season. It's just that simple, cuz Jalen Hurts is a $200 million man. That's the franchise. He ain't going nowhere. And before it's all said and done, I think Jalen Hurts will secure a Super Bowl for the city of Philadelphia. That's how I'm carrying it. Buxton and Steppen says everybody should be playing. Cody says they're using the DeJean absence to cross-train Mitchell. You got to. Hey, appreciate you, Woomy, for being here. Chemo, what's going on? Bo Brew. He says if Dean plays horribly in the preseason, he might get cut. Listen, man, he's not standing on stable ground right now. He's just not. Relative Time Works says Fangio was speaking out explicitly to put the heat under Howie. That's a good point, too. As Blunt says, he's honest. He's talking about Vic Fangio here. Vic Fangio's honest, and he's not trying to BS us. I feel that. The last thing we need is somebody lying to us. Shin says, I'm not concerned about Nakobe. He's not good enough to be concerned at this point. And Fangio has pretty much shown that he isn't going to start. That's hilarious. Donald Roan says CJ is the darkest of his era. Ooh, let's pump the brakes, Donald. Let's pump the brakes. The B dark. That's a Pro Football Hall of Famer. Let's pump the brakes. But I feel he does set the tone on defense. Austin says, I like how honest Vic is in the press conference. Gives you the truth, whether you want to hear it or not. Facts. And I'm going to give another shout out to my man Austin with the $9.99 donation. Thank you, Austin. I really do appreciate you, my man. He said it's the best Eagles podcast in the game. Can you argue with him? Now, you guys have been very patient. You guys have always supported the show. You guys have always supported any platform that I've ever been on. And I got to give a ton of credit to this brother that's about to come on. He does tremendous work on his YouTube channel. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, his YouTube channel has over 9,000 subs, nearly 10,000 subs. And I think on his other channel, they got I can't quite remember, but they got a ton of subs, over 1,000. So he has between his channels, he has over 10,000 subs. That's not bad. That's tremendous. I'm trying to catch up. But without further ado, man, I got to give this brother his flowers. This man has one of the most fan-friendly, one of the most electric sports YouTube channels out there covering your Philadelphia Eagles. My man, the good brother, none other than Bird Gang 31. My guy. What's good,
What's
man?
up,
How you
Tom?
feeling?
How you doing
Long
today,
time no see.
It's been a minute.
How you been? It's been a minute, man.
Yeah,
I'm doing good.
I was trying to get the kids together, get ready for this show. Y'all got to stay quiet, watch y'all Super Wings and do whatnot. Cause we about to toss some birds on here.
Facts.
So, yeah, man. You're doing a good job, man. Hey, you've been the man. You know what I'm saying? You've been the man from the start. We had our own show. We did our thing for a minute. I just love the way you look at the game. You know what I'm saying? And it's something different from what I do. You know what I'm saying? So it blends in perfectly. So if you ever want to bring back Bird Brain podcast, my brother, you know what time it is.
I feel you on that, man. Like I said, I got to give you your credit, man. You always you're always on the side of content. You're always on the side of the fan, right? And
yes.
I gotta speak truth to power, because the reality is the Eagles aren't an easy team to root for. Not for us, easy for us. But for some reason, the rest of the world has a hard time giving Jalen Hurts his flowers. They have a hard time showing love to the Philadelphia Eagles. But let's just start here, right? Let's stay on the offensive side of the ball. Then we're gonna jump to the defensive side, and then we're gonna, then we can jump around however we do this. Because me and you, when we talk, it can just go off the rails. And I want to try to keep us. I want to try to keep us at least on schedule before we get too far. So
all right.
So let's start on the offense, right? Jalen Hurts. He's been having a stellar training camp thus far. He hasn't turned the ball over. He's been precise. He's shown command of the offense. He's looking faster. Just give me your overall perspective on this Eagles offense right now, especially as it pertains to Jalen Hurts.
It's been the same as been since I told you guys. When everybody was doubting Jalen Hurts from the first year, oh, he did all right. We got to still see what he can do. I told you this guy is a beast. This guy is the man. I feel like I was one of the first that really supported Jalen. I feel like I'm his biggest fan. I love Jalen Hurts. It's not a Hurts jersey, but Hurts jersey is inside the garage right now. But that's a Jalen Carter jersey because he's a new buck coming in town. But, this offense looked good, man. You had a Saquon Barkley. How good what do you expect? You got one of the best backs in football that's going to help Jalen Hurts because not only is he, one of the best runners, he can catch the ball, he can pass block, he's a 3-down back, and that's something the Eagles has never had. We even when you want to go back to Booby, even when Booby was here, there was it was like back by committee. We've always kind of had back by committee. The year we won the Super Bowl, like Garrett Blunt, Corey Buckhalter and Jay Ajayi, back by committee. This is not a back by committee guy. Everybody keeps saying, last couple of years, Booby got 1,000. Swift got 1,000. Saquon Barkley is on a whole nother level than those cats. No disrespect to him. I love Booby. I wanted to bring Booby back. He could be his backup again. His backup in college. He could have been a backup again. But I love Booby. But these guys are not the same. They're not the same. The Eagles won't have that. We won't be sitting here, hopefully, knock on wood, like we were the last couple of years. Why aren't these guys getting the ball? Why aren't these guys getting the ball? We need to run the ball. Because with a guy like Saquon, you're going to run him as much as possible. You know what I'm saying? You're going to run him as much as possible. You're going to get everything out of him. But I feel like he can have a better year than either one of those cats, without as many carries. Like he won't need the carries just because the weapons around him. The weapons around him. He won't need to, to get to his 18. I think this year he probably get, total yards. He can get close to total yards, depending on how much they work him in that passing game. I'm looking at like 1,800. You know what I'm saying? Like he can get 1,800, with a double-digit touchdown for sure. So with a guy like Saquon added to this offense, that does nothing but help Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts was hurt all last year, and I hate everybody talking about, he was trash last year. His numbers were better in a lot of areas than the year before. Then the year we went to the Super Bowl, his numbers was better. He had more passing yards. Had more passing touchdowns. Those things were better. The only thing that made that a horrible season was the turnovers. That was it. You take away, you even cut like 6 of those turnovers out. And we're not even having no conversation about, how bad he was. You know what I'm saying? If he only had like 9 or 8, everybody wouldn't be so hard on him. I feel like, in terms of how bad he was. I think he had a solid season, but he played hurt the whole year. You know what I'm saying? The whole year, from the week 1, if you couldn't look at the football game and tell that he wasn't running full speed, or he was running cautious, or he didn't really want to run half the time, he would slide down or do a little thing, you know what I'm saying? He knew how he was feeling, and that's testament to his greatness because he played the whole damn season. You know what I'm saying? For the most part, he played the whole thing. Didn't even broke his finger at the end, still playing in the playoffs. He's a warrior. He's a soldier. You know what I'm saying? He's who you want to be leading your football team. That's for sure. But you can see him out there now. He's healthier. He's lighter. He's flying around again. That's dangerous, man. Because I think I was chatting with Philly 500, and I was telling him, I think Jalen can go 4,000 and 1,000 yards rushing and have like 50 total touchdowns this year.
Let me stop you right there, right? Because I actually have a stat prediction that I put together for Jalen Hurts. It's not 1,000 rushing yards. That's a little much for having Saquon Barkley in the backfield. That's a lot. But
Go ahead. I'll explain why I feel that way.
Okay. So for me, this is what I think he's working with this season. I think we're going to see a very sharp Jalen Hurts. And again, these are estimates, right? Give or take. I'm trying to account for what he's done. I'm also trying to account for the addition of Saquon Barkley, right? And I'm accounting for the Kellen Moore effect, Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown taking their games to another level, Dallas Goedert having a better season of production, a healthier season, as a matter of fact. So for me, I think Jalen completes 7% of his passes, 4,000 passing yards around there, 30 passing touchdowns, give or take, 7 interceptions. I don't think he goes above 8 interceptions this year. I think he's going to have about 7 interceptions. I think his rushing numbers take a little dip only because they're going to really feed Saquon, and I just believe Jalen Hurts. He's becoming so prolific as a passer that I think that he's going to have so many passing lanes because of what Saquon Barkley can provide, right? A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert, Saquon Barkley, and then you throw in maybe another one of those receivers. I love what Johnny Wilson's doing. We're going to talk about that later on. But I think his rushing numbers take a little bit of a dip because they're going to have a much more reliable guy running that ball. And I do think he is going to fumble the ball a couple times, only because it's par for the course, right? You're a quarterback that's dual threat. You move around a lot. There may be a moment where you cock back that ball and an edge rusher may tap your arm and it comes. It happens. It's the game. So I think overall, though, he's going to have 10 or less turnovers in total, but definitely going to have 7 interceptions around there. Nothing more than 8. But I think overall he's going to protect the football. So again, give me your perspective on this stat prediction I gave you, and then you can make a comparison to what you think he's going to do.
I think that's fair. If you want to look at Jalen Hurts' trajectory, and you look at like what he's done already, you can go. That's the next step, right? But I feel like that'll be the next step if we had the same type of team. We don't have that team no more. You know what I'm saying? That team is no more. That's the Booby Miles. That's the freaking DeAndre Swift team. If we would have had Swift again this year, that would be something that I would probably put up there. But like, okay, that's like Jalen Hurts. But I don't know if I'm just too much of a fan about it. Because I see greatness on this football team on the offensive side of the football. And just the same reason why you say it won't propel him to those numbers is the same reason I use to say why it can propel him to those numbers.
Interesting.
He went back-to-back season 800 yards. You know what I'm saying? And both of those seasons, well, it was like high sevens, pretty much 800. Both of those seasons he only played 15 games out of the 17. Only 15. So
he played all 17 games last year, and then the year before that, then the 2 years before that, he played 15 games each. Yes.
And then you look at that's only 200-yard difference, and you can't tell me 2 extra games plus a lot of times he could have, there could have been more magic going on where he could have got those yards. Like these are going to become in chunk plays, kind of like the year we went to the Super Bowl. That offense, the first half. You know what I'm saying? Now imagine that offense, but better. Devontae, AJ, another year in the system, better. Dallas Goedert, hopefully knock on wood, stay healthy, better than he was. You know what I'm saying? Saquon Barkley, better. Offensive line, just as good. I know we lost Kelsey, but I think Jurgen's going to do his job good enough. You ain't got to be great off the jump. Kelsey wasn't even great off the jump, but he's a good center, and Jurgen showed that he can play football at a high level in this league. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's Steen or Becton, I think whoever wins that job is going to be fine. It's going to be fine. You know what I'm saying? Because you got Big Lane on the one side, and then you're going to have Jurgens on the other side. Then the left side is definitely locked up. That is the reason why I feel like this year's going to be more about explosive plays. That's what we heard about from Kellen Moore. He likes to take shots. You know what I'm saying? He likes to take shots. Yeah, you will get to dump down. I think Devontae and AJ does it for the 3rd year. That might be the first time Eagles receivers ever do it, over 1,000 yards again. But I think these guys all got paid this year, and they're all coming in without a selfish mind of football. You know what I'm saying? They know that it's gonna be some games they ain't gonna beat us stuff. They happy because they got that money and
when that check clear, when that check clear, yeah. How many catches I had? Oh, okay, all right.
And who was just you heard Saquon talk about it today too. He's like, I don't care. There's gonna be some games where I'm gonna have to just pass block the whole game because it's about winning a championship. These boys been good for a long time. We got some star players that been good. It's about getting that ring, and that's all they really care about. And that's why you see Mr. David freaking Harris on the Olympic commercial.
That was pretty dope, right?
NFL throwing the torch. That was fire.
That was fire. I ain't gonna lie. I saw that. I was hot. That was hot.
Jalen out there, what? He picking up the football. It's on fire. What's he throwing it to? Lighting it up. And I'm gonna go. I'm gonna be at the Olympics that year. Hell, I think it might be the first year with football. So I think it's the flag.
Yep, it is. It is. So, let me ask you this though. Right? Just staying on the Saquon Barkley angle, because I think Saquon Barkley is going to have an insane season with the Philadelphia Eagles, right? And before I ask my question, I want to just give you my stat prediction that I put in a while back for Saquon Barkley, and I'm going to pretty much stick with these. I'm not going to move off these. I've saved these so I don't forget them. I think this is kind of on par with what he's going to do. I think Saquon, and again, I always come up with my stat predictions by trying to compile what they've done in the past, and then I try to factor in their new environment, who they play with now. This offensive line Saquon's playing with, top 5 in the league. This offensive line that and that's without Jason Kelce. You feel me?
Top 2.
This offensive line, well, not offensive line, playing with AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert, right? Those kind of guys. Jalen Hurts. I think Saquon Barkley is going to have.
That's the best trio of receivers you can play with in football. I don't care what anybody says.
You can't get better than that.
Hill and Waddle. I love those boys, but ain't no other 1-2 punch better than Smitty and AJ.
That's my opinion too. I'm with you on that. I listen. You know what's so crazy? I always get passionate about this because, like, I'll take my guys against anybody else, guys, any day of the week. Any day of the week. I take my guys to war any day. You feel what I'm saying? So when it comes to Saquon Barkley and these numbers, 1450 rushing yards, 8 rushing touchdowns, 450 receiving yards, 5 receiving touchdowns. I think Saquon Barkley is going to be a weapon for this team. Let me ask you this, right? Who not named Jalen Hurts is going to benefit the most from having Saquon Barkley in the building?
I'm gonna say the twins. You know what I'm saying? The receivers, AJ and Smitty.
But so
you got to pick one. You want to pick one person.
I'm looking for one person who you think is going to benefit the most from having him in the building.
Jurgens.
Interesting. Everybody I've asked has always said Dallas Goedert. Interesting.
Because he is the center. And everybody's like, can he really replace Jason Kelce? Is he really going to be that big of a job? I think Jurgens is a little bit bigger. So I think he's going to help that running game out a little bit more than what case. Kelce is really good from technique standpoint. You know what I'm saying? And he was strong, but he was a smaller center. But it's more the technique that got Kelce everything he did. And he played for, like I said, the first couple of years, he wasn't all pro Kelce like his rookie year either. You know what I'm saying? Like, it took him a while to get good, but he got better and he became one of the best ever to do it. Now, Jurgens is a little bit bigger. He can be more of a road grinder. And I think that it's going to be him because everybody's going to wonder how good he is. But when you got a back like that behind you, say you mess up, you got him picking up the blitz. He can pick up the blitz. You know what I'm saying? On inside blitzing. You know, let's say you hand him the ball. He can take it the distance from the inside zone to the outside zone to a toss to whatever you want to. So I think he is one on that offensive line that I feel like everybody know what Lane Johnson can do. Everybody know what Landon Dickerson can do. Everybody even know what Mailata can do by now, you know? And we're kind of like, well, it's not really that big of a deal, but Mekhi Becton's a huge guy. Said he might be the best run blocker on our football team right now, better than all those guys. He's a big guy, so if he wins that spot, it's kind of like another Brooks there, and I think that's going to do nothing but help. But then it's that Cam Jurgens, dude. That's an important spot, you know, saying the tush pushes there. You know what I'm saying? You're making all the calls with Jalen. And I already heard something that was worrisome a little bit, how it's like, you know, we kind of share their duties now. It's like it's me, Jalen, and then the rest of the linemen. We're all making all the calls, which in football that happened. But when it was Kelce, it's like Kelce's making all the calls up front. You know what I'm saying? Jalen's just back there. Okay, that's what we're going to do. Let's get it. You know? And now you got this guy in here that, like I said, he's originally a center. I think he's ready for the job, but I think he benefits the most if you're not going to go with, like, if I can't go receivers, you know, because, yeah, there's Dallas Goedert, too, that's going to be benefit. But Dallas always benefits. It's just if he can stay healthy or not. You know what I'm saying? It really don't matter. I think you see that we are going to go over the middle a lot more, but at the same time, you get a guy like Beckham, that's who's 6'7", something like that. It is going to block the division of Jalen Hurts, too, as well. You know, I think he did mention something about that when he was talking about Beckham. But he's a pro. He's going to be able to handle it. He's going to know what the new system we're running. I feel like he's going to know where everybody's going to be at the right time. Because he's getting that ball out real fast, you know, with a lot of velocity, you know, a lot of accuracy, anticipation. You know what I'm saying? He's doing what he's got to do. He went 100-some snaps without no pick, you know?
Yeah. Like, well over 100. Let's be honest, he's been remarkable in training camp. But, you know, the reality is, as remarkable as he's been, it has to translate to the regular season, right? Because remember last year,
I don't do that. Everybody else do that. I don't do that. You know I don't do that.
I know you.
If you're gonna come with that energy and when we're in shorts and pads and you're throwing all these picks, which is the time to throw them. You know what I'm saying? You're learning a brand new offense. You got to test the waters and see what you're going to do. Even Andy Reid was talking about Patty Mahomes throwing picks. No one wanted to say that. No one said a damn thing about Patrick Mahomes when he was throwing picks. You know what I'm saying? And Andy was like, it's fine. This is the time I want you to do it. I actually encourage you to do it because try to see what these players should do. Try to lead these guys in. Try to fit the ball into small holes.
So that begs the question. Hold on. That begs the question now. Do you think, because again, you said like the coaches, like Andy Reid, those guys like that time in training camp, that's the time to get that out your system, right? Last training camp, Jalen Hurts didn't throw any picks either, remember? And the season started, and obviously it went how it went. do you think he's been taking enough chances in this new system with the ball? Again, he hasn't turned the ball over not one time. Now, granted, could it just be he's that sharp? I'm going to believe it's that, right? I'm going to believe he's that sharp. But again, just to play devil's advocate, do you believe he's been taking enough chances with the ball in training camp since he hasn't thrown any picks?
I feel like, yes and no.
Okay.
You know why? Because he doesn't have to take as many chances with our new offense. You know what I'm saying? Like he said, remember everybody tripping 95%, and there some people like, oh, it's a lot different. Like the receiver said it's different. Everybody said different, but then like, oh, it's not 95%. Oh, everybody wants to say it's clan. And he's like, from me as a quarterback, what I'm looking at on this football field is 95%. And that's when he was throwing all the picks. I feel like he was taking his shots there, but it's so much more of a. We watched plenty of games on Sunday. We're like, why can't the Eagles make it look that easy? You know what I'm saying? Because it's not about stretching out. These guys were running vertical routes, and fade routes and comeback routes all game last year. We were so predictable, vanilla, that, he was just back there, You see this boy, hike, boom, because it's different play calls. It's different plays being ran. We got the the motion now, so you can actually see the defense. You're breaking down the defense as you're going around. Jalen's just that much more smarter, and he always gets better and better every single season. So I do think a part of it is he doesn't have to take so many chances because it's open. It's open, especially with our defense. It's open. With our two receivers, it's open. On those anything 5-10 yards, you best believe it's open. You know what I'm saying? There ain't no DBs in the league that are pretty much, I can say, that's going to make that not be open for an A.J. Brown, for a Smitty, any kind of 5 to 10 yard pass plays that we got going on with this motion stuff. They going to be open.
I agree with that. Let me ask you this, right? Let me talk about the mentality, right? We talked about the skill set, right? We've talked about the production. I want to talk about Jalen Hurts' mentality, right? He's had obviously many press conferences and many interviews since everything's kicked off, and there's been this constant thread that he's been kind of trying to weave throughout the team and the organization. He speaks a lot about how talent is not enough. And yes, this offense is talented. This team is talented, right? They're young, they're talented. They can really get a lot done, right? And obviously, they put up a lot of numbers last year. The receivers, Jalen, things like that. Swift had a career year, things of that nature. And people expect this offense to do crazy things this year as well. But Jalen Hurts has been pushing this narrative that, look, talented teams don't win championships. Mm-hmm. The great ones do. The ones that are on the same page, the ones that had that chemistry, the ones who are always prepared, right? The ones who study the film, right? The ones that are never surprised by anything that happens in their field because they're prepared, right? Speak on just his mentality about how if we're going to win a championship, talent will not be enough. Because we speak a lot about the talent, but talent at the end of the day, it could get you there. Because the Chiefs, were they more talented than the Niners? No. Were they more talented than the Eagles when we lost to them? No.
Nope.
They made the right decisions at the right time, and they executed those teams. So speak on that.
He was taking a shot at the coaches.
Okay, break that down.
That's all that was.
Because I didn't think about it from that perspective. Break that down.
He shot at the coaches. Even from the beginning, like even when you see him all dry with the Nick Sirianni stuff, he not hating, but he's just like, you know what? I'm not going to speak on it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to blast my coaches online, but you're going to know, you're going to feel my presence because I'm not going to change this shit. I'm not going to make it sugar-coated for them. I'm not going to say they did a good job. I'm not going to say this. I'm not saying they're doing a good job now. I'm not going to say Kellen and freaking Nick are in the same room. I don't even care about none of that. I'm learning my playbook. But, talent doesn't take you far enough because we've had talented teams to win Super Bowls. The first year with JG and those boys, we sucked. We got blown out in the first round of playoffs. Tampa Bay blew us out, right? So that's first-year coaches. JG and Steicher's first-year coaching, right? Being coordinators for us. So then you go to next year.
It was first year for everybody. Yep.
But yeah, and then you go to next year. Now you all got some continuity together. Now it's not saying that what they did was crappy, but it's just like needed some fine-tuning. They got better. We had one of the best defenses the Eagles ever had. One of the most prolific offenses the Eagles ever had. Ever. Go to the Super Bowl. Be minutes away from winning a Super Bowl. Outcoached. So you can say bad plays, but Andy Reid outcoached him. That's Big Red. He been there, he done that. Patty Mahomes, they've been there, they've done that. They have that bond already. So they were outcoached. With the bad play at the I still think that was BS call, but we're not gonna go there. That season's been gone. But even last year, Now you start back over, right? Those coaches leave. You bring in first time Desai. You bring in first time Brian Johnson. And then you don't even give him the keys to the car, right? You just bring him to sit passenger side in the car. You know what I'm saying? Look at this nice Ferrari. You know, if you show me this year, I might give you the keys next year. If you show me.
You know the sad thing about that? The sad thing about the Brian Johnson situation is that they never, like you said, they never gave him the keys, right? He was the passenger in the car. And then all of a sudden, they kicked him out at the next rest stop. Like, they say, you know what? Catch the bus home.
Yeah, we're not going to go with you. We're not going to go with you. We're going to find somebody else. But in reality, that was just Nick saving his own ass. You know what I'm saying? Because every time we have an inch of hearing that Nick Sirianni was in charge of our offense, it's dry, it's vanilla, and it's trash. That's why I was such a big component on saying we should have fired him.
Really?
You don't fire the whole staff and not fire him. That was his offense. That was his, go around. He's the head coach. He didn't stop the ship from sinking. You know what I'm saying? He didn't stop the wound from bleeding. He was just there. And then you're who fires your defensive coordinator when you're 11-1 or 11-2? Who?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Care. And you can say the defense looked trash all year. I can remember some games the defense saved our ass and we won the game too. And all them close games, And it was bad, but the offense kind of looked bad too. What happened to Smitty? What happened to freaking AJ after those 6 games? What happened to, everybody disappeared. The team disappeared. So and no one came back. It wasn't like the whole time we're like, when's Reddick going to get another sack? That's why I didn't even care that he left. I'm like, this guy's crying for more money, and half the season you didn't get a sack. You want money like all these big boys at the end of the season with 18 sacks, 19 sacks every single year, and you want that kind of money just because you got it 4 times in a row, double-digit sacks? You got 2 more games, my guy. Double digits ain't nothing. No more.
I love this energy you on, BG. I love it. Yo, where did this angst come from, my man? Normally, you love everybody on the team.
I'm just tired of it, man.
You tired, bro?
I'm tired of it. Jalen had to let him know that he's focused this year, and he can. And I think too, like that relationship with him and Brian was so close that he was just so pissed that you just hated my boy like that and kicked him out like that. Kicked him on a curve without even giving him no money. You know what I'm saying? Like, he didn't give you no money in your pocket. Go ahead and do your thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking out for you. I'm going to make some calls for you to make sure you get set up right. You know what I'm saying? You just get out, skied off. You know what I'm saying? And Jay like, what? That's my dog. I ain't going to hate on you in public because you're still here. But that was a big reason why I thought Nick should left. But we moved on to this year. And then not that I hate everybody. I'm just saying, like, any kind of drama you could probably try to think about this team is not really justifiable. You know what I'm saying? Like, Jalen Hurts ain't never sucked, ever. His lower stacks with that first year he started, and he didn't suck that year. He just wasn't ready that year, to take it to that next level. And I think he's ready to take the next. That was another reason why I said the 5,000-yard thing. Back to that, too, because I didn't finish that. The reason why I say that is because it's going to be so much wide open now. These option plays, people got to respect Saquon. Some teams might not respect Swift like that. You know what I'm saying? Because he was a good back, but what has he really done? I think that was his first 1,000-yard season. He's never been no star. Yes. Booby never really got the ball. He had that one season, but that's early in Jalen. I don't think they didn't have the Devontae and AJ pairing. You know what I'm saying? So, you got the Devontae AJ pairing. You got some nice third receivers. Things are just going to be easier. Remember that first year? Half of those yards Jalen got were just on wide open, plays. He'll run 20 yards, slide, run 20 yards out of bounds. So imagine that again, like times 2, basically. Because now you got a weapon like Saquon that every linebacker, I promise you, whatever direction Saquon's going, there might even be a spy on him. You know what I'm saying? Because you cannot let Saquon get loose like that. You let this guy get loose as a wrap. Like he said, there will be some games we see with Saquon rushing for 200 yards, but it ain't going to be off of 36 carries for 200. It's going to be
it might be 18 carries.
18 carries, 250 yards, and 2 touchdowns. You can be like, what the hell? Because our line is that good. You put up holes that big. Remember when Emmitt Smith used to always get on the yard from the Dallas line? That's how it's going to be for Saquon. We got to star his caliber by the line like that. It's a wrap. And that's what's going to make everything. Everybody's going to have inflated numbers, I feel like. You know what I'm saying? I think because we do play some good teams, and I think like that first year we went to Super Bowl, we let our foot off the gas. We were whooping ass in the first half. We just kind of let it off. I think Nick learned his lesson from that. And I don't think Kellen's gonna do that. I think Kellen wants the numbers. I think he wants to be seen as to do, mind the football. You know what I'm saying? I need a head coaching job. You guys give me a head coaching job for 2 years.
You think Kellen trying to run it up?
I need him. He gonna run that up. He gonna run it up.
Oh man.
And running it up is where you're gonna get. Think about it though, Tone. So 4,000 yards. Jalen pretty much most years only need an extra 200 to 300 yards. That's it. And he missed games except for last year. The other two, he missed games too. So 200 more yards. Is that possible? Yeah.
Easily.
Start having some 300-yard games, 400-yard games. I see that.
If the coaches do their jobs, he gets 4,000 yards easily last year.
Easily.
Let me show you something. Let me show you something real quick. This graphic that I found on Twitter because it really put things in perspective for me, and even more so, it made me realize that it's nothing Jalen Hurts can do. They're gonna hate on him regardless. Let me show you something real quick. I saw this on Twitter, and these are numbers from the past 2 seasons in terms of production, right? When it comes to these 3 quarterbacks in particular. Now, Joe Burrow was in Jalen Hurts' draft class. Joe Burrow was #1 overall. Obviously, Lamar Jackson is
MVP,
2-time MVP. More years on Jalen, but again, these are just the past 2 seasons, right? I want you to just look at these, and I want you to give me your unfiltered opinion just based off what you see off these numbers. I'm not even going to load the deck. Just tell me what you see and tell me how you feeling when you look at it.
Jalen the best. He's the best quarterback, man. Overall, any argument you try to say that he's not the best quarterback, you're trying to discredit his rushing. You know what I'm saying? Oh, but look at his passing. He's like top 5, top 10 in a lot of passing statistics now. That first year you had, we like, oh, it wasn't that great. It wasn't that high. They were good, but not great. But since then, he's been on point every year since. Even last year, he's top 10 in a lot of good categories you need to be top 10 in.
Mm-hmm.
So, the hell with Burrows. What has he really done?
He can't stay on the field.
He can't stay on the field. He's always getting hurt. Jalen's not like that. Lamar, okay. He rushes for like, what, 1,200 yards in a season or something like that?
Mm-hmm.
It looks pretty when we make that 1,000-yard mark. And I see that's what's going to propel, I think, Jalen. Because even like I said, those couple years, he was 200 yards away. And then how many yards he had last year? Like he was 300 yards away last year, I think. I think he had like 7, right?
Something like that. Yeah, something like that.
Now look at, you put that in spec, like you said, you add it up, the numbers are more, more total yards, more total touchdowns.
Because look, at the end of the day, look.
He scored that many more times your guy.
When I saw those numbers, right, this was my perspective, and I'll read the tweet out loud for everybody. This is what I tweeted when I saw those numbers. I wrote, at the end of the day, this league is all about production.
Yes.
Not who's more marketable or who throws further or who runs faster. You either put the numbers on the board or you pack it in. Don't ever question Jalen Hurts' legitimacy. And that's kind of my issue, right? People look at Jalen Hurts and they try to dismiss his production because it don't look like what Justin Herbert does. It don't look like the way Joe Burrow does it or the way my whole mind says this, right? Justin Herbert, that strong ass arm, what's it got him? Nothing. He doesn't win big football games. He blew a 27, 30-point lead. You dig what I'm saying? To the Jaguars when they still were trying to figure out if they were good or not. Mm-hmm. I just have a hard time taking people seriously when they look at Jalen Hurts' production and say, nah, he's not good. He's not good. And my mindset is, I thought this sport was about 2 things or about 3 things. Production, wins, and losses. And last time I checked, Jalen Hurts has been successful in all those categories. He wins.
Quarterbacks won like what, 27 straight games or something like that. You know what I'm saying? 20 to get straight game. We were like 26 and 20 out of 27 games right before we went on a little skid.
Yeah, it was crazy. Yeah, that win streak was insane.
It's insane. No one else does. He do stuff that other quarterbacks don't do. That's why I don't understand how he don't get the respect that other quarterbacks get. The winning, that's all that matters. It's cute that now he can put himself in a position to be like, okay, I got more total yards to you. And now I am top 10, top 5, number 1 in a lot of these categories passing. Now I'm going to try to shut you up. But guess what? This whole time I was developing to this, I have more wins than you. You know? What your team done did compared to my team? You know, what the Bengals been since Jalen Hurts been started? I don't think they have more wins than the Eagles.
Nah, they don't. I mean, the only thing that's really comparable between Joe Burrow and Hurts is that they both been to a Super Bowl and they both lost, obviously. Yeah, that's pretty much the only thing that's comparable. And you mentioned how, you know, there's been some pretty key stat categories that Jalen Hurts has been thriving in. Let me show you another one, right? Let me show you something else that's pretty cool. So these are the highest graded quarterbacks according to PFF on intermediate passes. Let me make sure you guys see that PFF stamp so you guys can know this is for real. So it says here, and look, intermediate passes are passes that account for 10 to 19 yards. And this is in 2023 on a bad year. On a bad year. So to speak, that's what they say. They call it a bad year, right?
Right.
Jalen Hurts, second highest graded quarterback on intermediate passes behind Lamar Jackson, and then Mahomes is right there, Tua is right there, and Kirk Cousins right there. I mean, that's pretty good company. You mean to tell me that guy's not a top 10 quarterback? They try to say he's not top 10 in the league. That's a damn lie. They try to say he's not top 5 in his conference. That's a damn lie. The people that play against him, his peers, they know what's up. That man was top 15 in the NFL, 100. They know what's up.
Y'all know everybody likes to say that I speak blasphemy sometimes, and that's the fandom. But he's the best quarterback in the league. He's better than Patrick Mahomes.
Okay. Why do you do this to me?
I'm gonna tell you the truth.
Listen. Why do you do this to me?
I love Patty's backyard
BG.
Football.
Why do you do this to me?
I think he is great in his backyard football, and he can sling that rock from anywhere on the field, any angle on the field, behind the back, over the shoulder.
I should have known.
Like completion.
I should have known you was gonna do this to me today.
But he don't run the football like Jalen, and Jalen
I should have known you was gonna do this to me today. Why do you always trigger me like this? Okay, and you know I love Jalen Hurts, so I'm not even going to entertain what you just said. I'm not going to entertain what you. I'm not going to entertain what you just said.
It's okay. You're not going to get a whooping.
You out of pocket. No, you out of. You do this to me every time we talk, and we get stuck on this every time.
Jalen is better than Patty Mahomes because listen, Super Bowls is a
nobody is better than Patrick Mahomes, dog.
The reason why we can't say that, or people feel like they can't say that, is Patty got all them damn rings. Okay,
it matters.
Also got the greatest coach in football, our old coach, Andy Reid, coaching them. You see what Andy did with Donovan, 5 straight NFC championships. So is it really Patty? Is it really Patty Mahomes? Is he really that great? Come on, and he's making me want to hate my boy Patty. And I love Patty. To be honest, if you could have 2 football teams, the Chiefs would probably be my second favorite team. You know, if you could have one, you know, I love Travis Kelce, Patty Mahomes, a baller. But at the end of the day, right, Patty can sling that rock, Jalen can sling that rock.
Yeah.
That's fair to say, right? After that, Jalen can run like the best. Jalen has some of the most iconic runs in football.
I hear you, but
okay. Patty
Mahomes
cannot run the football like Jalen, which gives him that leg up on who's the better quarterback.
Yo, bro. See, Eagles fans, listen, real quick before you keep going, because this is y'all, everybody in the live chat, all 53 of y'all. This is where me and BG always get stuck, because I always try to host a seamless and a smooth show, and then BG just goes off the rails and starts saying stuff like this. I am a Jalen Hurts.
Hey, from the beginning, I said stuff people were scared of. I told everybody the year we went to Super Bowl, we're going 14-3. We're going to be good. We're not going to be that good.
You did say that.
I said 14-3. What did we do? I said we're going to Super Bowl. We didn't win it. I should have said we should have won it because everything else was going good. But I said 14-3. We're 14-3. We went to the Super Bowl. I said Jalen Hurts will be an MVP. I said he's going to win it. He didn't win it, but he was second place. You know what I'm saying? That's pretty close. That's pretty close. The next year. But I know this football team, and I know my players. Jalen is better. Everybody say, listen, and I get it, dude. I get it. It's why Tom Brady, right? Tom Brady's the GOAT. He's the greatest of all time. Yeah, he's great. Tom Brady is the greatest quarterback of all time. He was on the greatest team of all time. You know what I'm saying? Like,
all right. Listen,
you know, just because he got rings don't make you the best player. He was the clutchest quarterback of all time. I give him that. Hey. 3 of his rings came off the leg of Vinatieri. After Vinatieri left, he won the Super Bowl. Vinatieri won the Super Bowl for the coach for Penn Manning to get his Super Bowl ring. Okay, Payne's the best quarterback.
This is why I bring you on, though. This is exactly why I bring you on, right? You know, I love to let you cook most times. This is why I like bringing you on because you're gonna say the things that most people are afraid to say. So this is why I love bringing you on, right? And I love Jalen Hurts. So we're gonna leave it there. I love Jalen Hurts. You love Jalen Hurts. We're gonna leave it right there.
One time.
Let me
even
say
if you
what?
don't believe it. Just
say what? Say what?
Jalen's the best quarterback in the league.
How about this? How about I give you this? Jalen's the best quarterback in the NFC. I give you that.
Okay, how about this? Jalen's the best pure quarterback in the league.
All right. Let's talk about the defense. Let's talk about the defense, yo. Because
I think you to say it, man.
Listen,
I feel
BG.
like if you're MVP, if you're an Eagles fan and you really believe in your quarterback and you see the numbers, you put up numbers for me to help everybody else see that the boy can do it in the passing game. He's right there. And there are some stats that he's number 1 and 2. Don't get it twisted. You know what I'm saying? Just because he didn't throw 40, 50 touchdowns or whatever. Okay, not everybody do that all the time. Okay? The rushing puts him over the edge. Just because he's a quarterback, you just gave Lamar Jackson the MVP because he can run the football. Right? 2 times. You gave Lamar 2 times the MVP because he can run the football. 2 times.
That's why I love you, yo. That's why I love you. That's
So
why I love you.
He's the best player in football.
I told y'all.
He's the best player in football, but I can't say Jalen Hurts is the best player in football.
No, listen, I told everybody before you came on, right? Before you came on, I told everybody that I was bringing a fireball to the show today. I told everybody. This is why I love you, BG, because again, you're gonna say everything everybody else is afraid to say. You stand on the mountaintop and you scream loud and you don't give a damn if you're there by yourself. I respect that about you. But I gotta ask you about this defense. I have to. Because the defense is, in my opinion, the more fascinating conversation, right? Obviously, Jalen Hurts, we love that guy. But the more fascinating conversation is on that defense, right? And it's so many angles we can approach it from. But let's start with the most recent news that came across the wire. Vic Fangio had a press conference today. And he was asked about Nakobe Dean, right? And he was very honest about Nakobe Dean. That's the one thing I say about Vic Fangio that I like. He's very honest. He doesn't pull any punches. He says he felt like Nakobe Dean had a strong start, a strong couple of first days in training camp, a strong couple of first days at the beginning. And he says since then, and since the public practice, he's taken a couple steps back, or he's taken a step back since the public practice. When you hear Vic Fangio say that about Nakobe Dean, on top of that, when you see that Zach Bond has been getting primarily the first team reps, what mindset does that put you in terms of that linebacker position as a whole? And then what mindset does it put you in as it pertains to Nakobe Dean's future on this team?
Twiz, I see you. I see you, Twiz. I see you in the chat. I love you, but okay. Listen, we're going defense now. I can go on with the Jalen Hurts. I see you, Twiz. And like I said, when he wins MVP and Super Bowl this year, y'all gonna be like, "Oh, he's the best." As soon as the public says he's the best quarterback, then that's when everybody's like, "He is the best." Yeah, I'm like, "You idiots!" Like, shut up.
You love being early to the party.
Let's
go ahead. Go ahead.
Man, I don't know, man. I kind of gave up on him already. Like,
really? You gave up on somebody?
Really? Like, guys, come on. He played some last year. He got hurt. He wasn't nothing that special. Like, I don't know. I can't 100% gave up on, but you got a guy that never even started linebacker ahead of you right now on a depth chart, and you can't beat him out right now. It's not looking possible. He's making plays. You're not. You know, you're getting toasted by Kenny Gainwell, which is not good for you at all, over and over again. Because like they say, there's way more better running backs in the league than Kenny Gainwell, my guy. And if you're going to be guarding these guys, you're a liability. But that was one of the biggest things in the draft that people was worried about. I liked him. You know, but I wanted to do from Alabama, which is actually having a better career than Nakobe Dean right now. But, you know, remember it was Nakobe Dean. It was that.
Are you talking about his draft class?
Yeah.
The top two linebackers from his draft class were supposed to be Devin Lloyd. That's what I wanted. I wanted Devin Lloyd out of Utah.
Yeah,
the Jaguars picked him up. And he's really, really good. Really good. He's proven that he's really good.
Yeah.
It wasn't Alabama. And wasn't it somebody else? Did the Packers pick him up? Was that who drafted him? I can't remember. I don't know. But regardless, go ahead.
Those 3 guys.
Yeah.
But D was the best linebacker in college, though. He was the best linebacker in college, like overall, because they won a championship and he was just that dude. But
I always felt Lloyd was me personally. Again, because I'm on record, I got videos talking about it when that draft first happened, or prior to the draft leading up to it. I was always a Devin Lloyd guy more because Devin Lloyd, just his measurables were better. He was better in coverage, things of that nature. And I just felt like his body type will hold up a little more. But here we are, Nakobe Dean, first season, didn't play at all. Second season,
it's like, isn't that dude from Alabama? I mean, from the Texas, the linebacker. I think it was him.
I'm not entirely sure. I can't remember.
But anyway, Nakobe Dean, man, you start to see Trotter get first team reps. Okay, that's what you know. The guy, it's a wrap. Like, but then again, like Fangio's that guy, right? I love his old school mentality. I love Fangio already. Just the way he, like you say, he's so truthful. He's not sugarcoating nothing. He's letting you know what it is, whether you like it or not. But he did the same thing with Huff, right?
Yes, good point.
He did the same thing with Huff. He's like, and then the one that we're like questionable about, like why should they really be starting like a bar or something? He's giving them high praise. He's keeping them high. He keeping them working good. He's giving them their love, their flowers, because they deserve it. Because that's who's working good right now. He's gonna give you flowers, but if you're not doing it, he's not gonna give you no flowers. He's old school. He keeps it real. He wants ballers that want to ball. Come ball. It don't matter who you are, where you are on the depth chart. If you ball, you're gonna be on this football field. But then you heard him go after Huff, who's our big price tag defensive player this year. That's supposed to do great things, be way better than old boy we just read it. You know what I'm saying? That's what we're hoping. But what do you say? He's not a 3-down player yet. He can get there, but he's not there yet. If you're supposed to start, he ain't gonna just come out and give you no love straight up. You know what I'm saying? He ain't that guy. If you ain't doing it in practice the ones that are doing it in practice, he give you the love. If you ain't doing it in practice, he gonna let the world know you ain't doing it yet. And that's tests your manhood. So the Nakobe Dean go either be the starter because Bond started. I heard because I had Chris Franklin on my show, right? And I heard some stuff like it's just more to let him heal. Let him the freaking he'll get. That's why he's with second team. Not really doing that much. Just letting him heal, get back off his injury, which it possibly still can be. You know what I'm saying? We don't know how healthy he is at all. He seems like he gets hurt a lot now, even though it wasn't really a thing for him. So we don't know really how hurt he is. So maybe that's why the open practice comes when you got 50,000 people who will start. Nakobe Dean. So it could just be one of them boys to get him to get on this thing. He's not doing good enough to be a starter on this football team yet. So I'm not going to give you no flowers till you show me in practice you could be a starter on this football team right now. Right now, I'm Bond, the outside guy, but I like his effort. What does everybody say about the boy? Even Devin White. No one's really saying.
Effort is crazy.
And anybody really said he's the best linebacker I ever played with. You know what I'm saying? Anybody said this is the best linebacker I ever seen. This guy's coming out the best linebacker. All they talk about is his motor, his effort, which can't be, shied away from. That's all they're saying. They're not really crowning the guy. You know what I'm saying? They're not crowning him. None of the players are crowning him.
If you pay attention, they're really trying to give Nakobe Dean every chance to win that job. They're trying. They are trying. He's not making it easy. No one's
crowning them yet. And how Fangio did the same thing kind of with Huff. It could be one of them things that just want him to get better, dude, to the season start. And until you show me, I'm going to keep throwing new guys in your face. I'm going to keep doing it. Oh, you don't want to do good at practice today? Guess what? Hey, Trotter, rookie, get in there for Dean.
They just signed the guy today, Shaquille Quarterman. Now, obviously, that's not going to be. That's not a signing that's going to move the needle. That's just a body.
Talk about really for real. Like you said, it's more for preseason. We're going to sign probably 2 more quarterbacks too, and we're going to sign another 3 receivers too. You know what I'm saying? We're going to get people on there for the preseason because our starters. I don't care what everybody say they need to see them. I don't even think they're going to do it.
Christian Harris. That's who it was. Christian Harris.
Yes.
Christian Harris. Thank you, Mark.
Good.
Thank you. Christian Harris.
He's good.
Yes, very good.
You know what I'm saying? Good. So obviously another thing why you should listen to Bird Gang and stop listening to other people. I will tell you who's the stuff. I played semi-pro ball. I played ball on a high level. I know football players when I see them. You know what I'm saying? And everybody's like, oh, you're only a homer because, you know, you say in Alabama, Jalen Hurts was in Alabama. That's why, no, I watched him play. Obviously, being in Alabama, you got to watch him play, yeah. But the respect I gave him after he got benched by Tua and went to a whole nother college and woo,
runner up for the Heisman. Runner up for the Heisman.
Should have won it, to be honest. I think he had better numbers than Burrow. But Burrow won the championship.
I think Burrow broke that record, I think. I think that's why they gave it to him.
5,000 yards, huh?
Yeah, it was something crazy.
It was something like that, yeah. But it turns out you did. That's another scenario where you don't add his rushing yards because he had 1,000 yards rushing too that they didn't want to throw on there. You know what I'm saying? He's been hating on that for a while, man. The Heisman, but we ain't talking about Hurts right now. We're talking about Nakobe Dean. But yeah, it's just one of them things I feel like. But for real, I want by the end of this season to be Trotter and White. You know, everybody's like, we need to sign this guy. We can sign that guy. Let's trade for somebody so we can make this super team. How are we saving money for all these one-year contracts we have? If they ball out by mid-season, you got to sign them. You're not going
to there's a couple people
in certain positions where you can't not sign them. And what, you're going to start over at that position next year? You know, linebacker. We need linebackers. So if Devin White is on this one-year deal and Devin White balls out the first 8 games of the season and he is that all-pro Devin White, I promise you he's getting a contract.
And on top of that, there's a couple people. There's somebody in particular that's still waiting to get paid. And we could transition from the linebackers. Let's get to the D-line, right? Milton Williams.
Wait, before we go to D-line,
yes.
Tell me about how you feel about Trotter Jr. getting some first-team rep. Do you think it's just a poise, or do you think – because I think the boy's good. Like, I watched him in college. He was a good football player. In his daddy in his ear every day. He don't want to get embarrassed by his daddy.
Yeah, I'm high on Trotter. You know, to answer your question, I'm high on Trotter. I'm excited to see what he can do with those first-team reps. Obviously, I still think. I mean, look, let's be real. He was a 5th-round pick, right? 5th-round pick, something like that. 5th or 6th round.
Matter where you
No. I know that. But I'm just saying that's just what he was. That's what we know. I liked him in college. He was everywhere. He was a floor general or a field general. I think he has the athletic tools, and I actually think his body is more naturally suited for the position than Nakobe Dean. I feel like he's built better for that position, even though they're about the same height. I feel like Trotter is more physically stout for that position. So I'm really excited about Jeremiah Trotter's future. So yeah, that's pretty much how I feel about that. As it pertains to that D line, right? I think about this. I think about that D line and Milton Williams at the D tackle position. Fletcher Cox is gone, so that means more snaps for Milton, more snaps for Jordan Davis, more snaps for Jalen Carter, right? But in particular, Milton Williams, he's in a contract year, and we know the Philadelphia Eagles, they like to get in early with their contracts. They like to pay guys early, and they like to get it done. Now, we haven't heard any news about Milton Williams' contract, be it good or bad. But I'm willing to bet the Philadelphia Eagles had a conversation with his representation about the contract extension. And I'm also willing to bet that Milton Williams said, nah, I'd rather play out this year and see what happens. I think Milton Williams is betting on himself for this season because he understands this may be his only chance to get the biggest contract of his career. So, Milton Williams, do you think there's a chance the Philadelphia Eagles re-sign him? What do you think that looks like? And again, keep in mind, these DT contracts, they're getting paid like wide receivers now.
He ain't getting no big contract, period. He's not that guy,
But what do you think it looks like? No, hear me out. Hear me out before you go. Hear me out, though, because I'm not saying he's that guy. I'm not saying that.
I know you're not.
But weigh the entire situation here. Jordan Davis is entering year 3. You're going to have to decide if you're going to have to pick up that 5th-year option. And then Jalen Carter, based off of the way these DTs are getting paid, you got to make sure you're ready to pay him when it's time. So I have a hard time, me personally, I have a hard time believing they're going to be paying those 3 guys high-quality money, all 3 of them at least, right? But again, my man Antonio Holmes says it. Milton Williams, what's his leverage really, right? What do you? Let me approach from. Yeah, go ahead.
The receiver, Greg Ward. Oh, he's so great. Yeah. Eagles fans like the guy. We like the underdog mentality. We like that guy that's not the starter that actually chips in good. And that's great to be that guy. But you're that guy.
Right, man.
You only have 1 sack, my guy. Like, it doesn't matter. Why would you bet on yourself? Bet on winning
For that,
championships.
no. For that exact reason. For that exact reason. He had one sack. He probably looks at it from the perspective of, I'm going to have a better year. I'm going to have more reps to get a better contract. Because if he would have signed now,
getting more reps.
With Fletcher Cox being going, you don't think he's getting more reps with Fletcher Cox being going?
Because you're going to up Jordan Davis's rep. I'm telling everybody, I was first. People really are super high on Jalen Carter, right? But this is Jordan Davis this year, I believe. I think this is his year. Finally, the fat boy gets in shape. You know what I'm saying?
He cut his hair off too.
When Jordan Davis is in the football game playing at a high level, it changes the whole defense. From his very first year. Remember those games started? The first 5 games, we had the top 3 rushing defense in football because Jordan Dager anchored that middle, right? And then he got hurt. So then we were like, okay, well, it's fine. He's just a rookie. You know, we'll let these guys play out. We let Milton play. We let these guys play. We were getting ran all over to the point where we had to go get Joseph. We had to go get Sue.
Yeah.
And dude, this guy got back. And then once you paid them the money, you weren't gonna go and let Jordan, put Jordan in there full time. You want to let him heal. He's your first round pick. You know what I'm saying? Let him heal. Let him do his thing. You're paying these guys big money. Let them do their thing. The next year coming to what? Until the Buffalo game.
He started off really well. And then that Buffalo game
where he gassed himself out, trying to run 22 miles per hour like the rest of these cats, trying to get those next gen stats up. You know what I'm saying? Don't do that. It ain't that deep. You don't do that. Because he laid on that ground for like 4 minutes.
He needed that one. He needed the gas from that one because Allen was going. That would have been like a 20-yard game.
Though, I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? He just got back up.
I feel you on that. I feel that.
He came out and said, I like guys that are accountable for their actions. He came out and said it straight up. I was gassed. You know what I'm saying? After his first year, he thought he did enough in the offseason. He thought he was eating right. Well, obviously wasn't good enough. And you see him come back in even better shape this year. And I tell you, dude, you cannot double team both guys. Period. That's not going to happen. You're not doing 2 double teams. That's not happening. And Jay Carter's already got the sub sacks. So people's first initial attention is going to be on stopping him from being the next Aaron Donald, which he could possibly be. You know what I'm saying? He's a beast, straight up. But the opposite side of that is Jordan Davis. You have to put 2 people. Not one person in football is just going to block Jordan Davis for a whole game, period.
I think Jordan Davis is the most important player on the defense, in my opinion. That's my person, because he's going to anchor that defense. If he doesn't do his job.
Even times he didn't get the sacks, he was pushing centers and guards back into the area where you can get a sack. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's a monster. For real. Jordan Davis, when you see Jalen Carter stand next to Jordan Davis, look like his little brother. You know? He look like he on the varsity team, his little brother playing pee-wee football. But you know what I'm saying? Like, that's how monstrous this guy is. He's like, besides Malata and Becton, I think he's like the biggest guy on the football team. You know, like the biggest monster, one of the biggest guys in the league. So I really think this is his year to shine. Jalen Carter will do his thing and be good and whatnot. But I just think people underestimate Jordan Davis. Like, I think how many sacks he had last year? 3?
Yeah, 3.
Right?
But
the year before, like 3, 4. And this is the year you can turn into a Pro Bowl nose tackle by getting like 5, 6 sacks. Because as long as you stay healthy,
that's a plus. That's a plus for me though. Like Jordan Davis. Again, he has the athletic skills to get sacks, but I don't think that's that's not why he's there. But I understand what you're trying to say though. But for me,
it's not like he's gonna be chasing sacks. He's just that good now. He's gonna be
no. I hear you. I think he's the most important player on that defense because he has to anchor everything. If he's not doing his job, those linebackers are gonna get ate up, and everybody else is gonna get ate up. He has to take up space. He has to demand the respect of double teams so he can create one-on-ones for everybody else.
And it's not that he has to. It's going to happen regardless. Like, that's why I'm saying, like, you can't double team both of them, but you have to. Sometimes they were triple teaming Jordan Davis last year. Triple teaming the guy because he's so big. You're not just double teaming because of his talent. He's a talented guy. You double team him because he's a big man that's going to just push your little center out the way. Push your little guard out the way. Hey, excuse me, guy. Excuse me. Hey. I weigh like almost 1.5 times what you weigh, guy. Excuse me. Back up, Mr. 275. Back up, Mr. 280. Even 300. I'm like 360, my guy. Watch out. Excuse me, guy. In shape, slim down 260. Okay? That's with muscle. Okay? That's not fat. That's muscle 260. I'm ripped. Okay? I'll punk you. Okay? Like his thing was, what she said he practiced a lot of was getting lower because he is so big. You know, like getting lower. That's how you beat those little guys. He's learned it, obviously. He's had some great coaches. You think of all the great Sue, Joseph, Fletch, you know, Hargrave. You know what I'm saying? Like
now's the time to put it all together.
Now is your time you put it together. I fully believe that this is going to be the Jordan Davis show on that defensive line. You know, it's going to be, and I'm not saying Carter's not going to do the same. Like I'm saying,
no, I know what you're saying. You're just
going to make Carter look even better.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He's going to make him look even better because if Jordan Davis, they say in the first 2 games, Jordan Davis gets 2 sacks, it's going to be a problem, okay? Because now you're worried about him and you're gonna make the mistake of the smaller guy, letting him go, and then Jalen Carter's just going to punk everybody one-on-one. He a beast. He a beast out there. You know what I'm saying? They're 2 dogs. I think this is going to be the year you might see the Philly dogs actually bite. You know, we've been waiting for that.
Speaking of the Philly dogs,
we've been waiting
Nolan
on that
Smith.
bite for a while. We've been waiting on that bite for a while on the team.
Well, let's talk about Nolan now, right? You said the Philly dogs. Let's talk about Nolan now because Nolan is entering a crucial season, in my opinion. Obviously, last year he didn't get that many reps, but this year, you know, you lose Hassan Reddick. BG is obviously on the last hurrah.
Mm-hmm.
This is a huge year for Nolan Smith, right? Huge year for all those edge rushers, but let's just focus on Nolan Smith. What's your expectations for him, and what's been your opinion? What's been your opinion on what you've heard about him in training camp?
I've loved, you know, what he's done since he came in the league. You know, he's been at that camp symposium, you know, with all the best pass rushers for the last 2 years in a row. Mm-hmm. You know, he's been around asking all the greats, all the questions. I think he knew that the biggest problem last year was his size, and he got bigger. You know, he got bigger, faster, stronger. He had the talent. I think he even had a sack last year. Did he get like 2?
Yeah, 1. Yeah, 1 against the Dolphins. He came up
but he
untouched.
got close a couple times. I remember that.
Very close. A lot of them got close, but they couldn't finish.
Yeah, and I just think now, more mature, he felt that. Like, I should be this guy already. This is my window. This is my time. Just like Jordan Davis, this is my time. Fletch is gone. Ain't nobody here to save us. Reddick's not here to save us no more. Cool, Huff, but I was drafted here. Okay? I wasn't brought in here. I was drafted here. It is my duty. What? He was drafted the first round too, right?
Yep.
Another first rounder. I was drafted in the first round, but it's time for me to shine. And I think he did what he had to do this offseason.
Well, like you said, but you said it earlier, right? You said it earlier. It don't matter where you was drafted. You gotta produce.
Yeah. But that goes into say too the mindset of that. Like if you're drafted the first round, you don't produce, like that's gonna hit you a lot harder than a 4th or 5th rounder. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're drafted in 5th round, you're not really expected to produce. So everything you do is like cake. It's like butter icing on the cake. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you want to get better. You want even 3rd round. Hey, yeah, I'm good, but you know, like, I might if it takes me a year or 2 to get there. Okay, cool. You know, I wasn't no superstar. When you first number 1, that's why it's Jordan Davis time to shine now. You know what I'm saying? Jordan got to do that this year. Now, like you said, if he don't, there is a hungry Milton Williams waiting. But I don't think he's that player, man. I don't think, you know, it's kind of like, I hate to go to the office and use reference all the time, but I don't think Gainwell's the number 1 back like that. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, no.
He's a good back, but he's not number 1 back.
Gainwell's okay.
I already think he's going to get his position taken by old boy from Clemson, but we ain't
That's what I think. Now we're on the same page because I think that as well. And again, I don't want to get too far for the defense because that's where we are, but just to show you that I agree with you. And I think Will Shipley is I don't think Kenny Gainwell's going to be here next year. So I think Will Shipley is being set up to be that guy behind Saquon Barkley. But go ahead.
Back to Nolan. I think this is his year. Like I feel like that year we went to the Super Bowl, man. We have how many players get 10 sacks? 5? It was.
BG had double digit.
BG, Hargrave,
Sweat, Reddick, Hargrave, Reddick.
Sweat.
I think it was 4 guys, right?
It was 5. All 5 of them had 5. It's Fletch had 5 sacks too. 10 sacks too.
Oh, word?
Yeah. And then the rest were just like there's a couple of handful of sacks here and there. It was 72 sacks?
Yeah, it had over 70 sacks. Let me just double check that though, because I don't want to.
I remember we had 5 players with double-digit sacks.
Okay, here we go. So you had Hassan Reddick with 16, Javon Hargrave with 11, Brandon Graham with 11, Josh Sweat with 11, and then Fletcher Cox had 7.
7?
So,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Came
yeah,
close though. But still, seven sacks, 7 sacks for a DT over 30.
Yeah. Well, that's 2 DTs. That's 17 sacks with your 2 starting DTs.
18 sacks between them.
18 sacks with 2 starting DTs. Yeah. I think we can do something like that this year. I think Carly could be as good as Aaron Donald. Why not?
I don't think.
Well, I'm not saying he's going to be, but he can be.
No. I'm not saying that. But I just think Nolan Smith, he's so athletic. He plays with such speed, right? But he's going to have to be able to beat those top tier edge rushers, right?
And I wouldn't be.
I guess so. I guess. I hear that, but I hear that, but he didn't really beat Lane Johnson. Like what happened was Lane Johnson guided him around Hurts so Hurts could step up into the pocket. I don't think he beat Fred Johnson twice. That's who it was. He beat Fred Johnson, not Lane Johnson. He beat Fred Johnson twice.
They said he had a sack on Lane Johnson.
I guess, but listen, I'm not trying to down him. I'm not trying to down him. It's just that I just know that the expectations are high for him this year.
But it's like what you said though. He already had the speed part of it. You know what I'm saying? Like he had the speed. He came from one of the best schools. He needs
to improve his speed.
He had to get stronger. He even said that. Yeah. He had to get that power up. That was his only problem. And it looks like, for what we see, he got that power up. It looks like it. Now, is it going to translate on the field? You're hearing news about him having good practices, right? You're hearing stuff like that. So let's just see when the season comes. I think, like I said, this is the year the Philly Dogs bite. Finally, at least on the defensive line, and maybe even Ringo too, because I like the way Ringo been playing too. Like I don't know if he's gonna win that spot, because I do like Rodgers.
Okay, let's go there. Right? Great segue.
I like to see what Ringo's doing too, and I think Ringo has the opportunity to definitely be our starter.
All right, let's go there then, because that cornerback competition is very, very interesting. Now, here's the thing. Obviously, Cooper DeJean's injury kind of threw a monkey wrench in the game plan, because I think they really wanted him at nickel. But now, because of his injury, and he's not going to be back for maybe another couple of weeks or so, they've been working out, or they've been cross-training Quinyon Mitchell at that nickel spot. And he's been in a lot of nickel situations, dime situations, things like that. And it seems to me that, and this happened at the day of the public practice, they were rotating Keely Ringo and Isaiah Rodgers at the cornerback 2 spot exclusively, and Quinyon Mitchell was on the first team nickel. Give me your perspective on that position battle. Do you think it's Keely Ringo's position to lose, or Isaiah Rodgers? Do you think Quinyon Mitchell is going to start at the nickel or start on the outside? Just give me your overall perspective on that cornerback battle between Quinyon Mitchell, Isaiah Rodgers, and Keely Ringo.
I kind of feel like it's over already. I think it's Rodgers to lose. You know what I'm saying? Because people forget, before the year off, he was one of the best cornerbacks in the league. You know what I'm saying? There's not no scrub that got suspended, and now you're hoping he can be great. Like, he actually played at a high level before he was suspended. He's like one of the top quarterbacks in his football league. So just because the year off, obviously, didn't do nothing for him, because he came back even better, stronger, faster and whatnot. So it's his position to lose. And it's what I said from the beginning. Who even knows? You know how the Eagles like stretching out injuries and doing things like that behind the scenes where people don't know, fake injuries.
Well, I mean,
listen,
it's a hamstring.
What
So
they let the boy have a chance to be the starter. Quinyon Mitchell was getting first team reps, right? In the beginning, right? How can you do that without really technically demoting him? And what they say in the press conference, he was good enough to actually see if he can get promoted to the nickel. That's not a promotion.
No, I agree with that. I don't think Quinyon Mitchell can't play the outside. I think their plan is, I think they're trying to get the best combination of talent on the field. And that's why, and also Quinyon Mitchell is the most, it's funny, the 2 most versatile corners they have on the roster happen to be rookies. Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean. I felt like they said to themselves, Keely Ringo can't play the nickel. Isaiah Rodgers can't play the nickel. Yeah. But Quinyon Mitchell, he can.
Don't want to play the nickel either.
He can.
He said that straight out. Be like, I don't play.
Right. And Quinyon Mitchell, he can. And he's a bigger body. He's more physical than a guy like Isaiah Rodgers. So, therefore, Quinyon Mitchell's versatility, along with the fact that him being a rookie, you can get away with cross-training him there, right?
It was about what I said from the jump, dude. It's okay. He's going against the top receivers in the league. It's okay that he's not a starter right this second. Like everybody, he has to start. We spend the first round pick on him. He's the best.
I think a nickel is a starting spot in this league.
Hold
on, wait, real quick. I think the nickel is a starting position in this modern NFL.
It is. I'm not saying it's not a starting position, but everybody knows about cornerback one, left and right. Corner. That's starters. Those are the starters of the football team, my guy. You know, and it's like not that he couldn't play, but I said it's nothing wrong. Like I was getting crucified this offseason after the draft. I just, I talked to Quinyon Mitchell at the Senior Bowl.
Yes, you were there.
I interviewed this guy, and I seen his vibe. I see, I watched him. Like, hey, he's pretty good, But he wasn't nothing special. Where it's like I have to tell everybody, there's a reason you're at number 22. Oh, he fell to 22. It's a reason.
Hold on, time's up. No, you got to stop there. I can't let you cook that because I can't.
Before you come by.
All right,
listen. If you that dog, right? Top 10 every time. You think
stop there. Because this draft. Hold on. I can't let you do that.
You look at the You look at the Sauce Gardners. Those were dogs.
I can't let you do that.
Every team was like, I don't give a damn who's on the board. We need a cornerback right now. We're drafting this guy in the top 10, and we're locking him in. And
I can't let you do that because the reality is that draft was one of the most unique drafts that we've ever seen.
We see that every year, though.
No. Hear me out, though. When I say unique, I mean as far as what the teams were doing as far as their decision making. The 2024 NFL Draft. Did you know the first defensive player didn't come off the board? I mean, I'll tell you right now, the first defensive player.
I watched it. It was my boy.
Didn't come off the board.
No,
hold on. Listen.
I wanted that pick.
Listen. The first defensive player didn't come off the board until pick 15. Pick 15. So automatically that pushes down, no matter how talented you are, that pushes down a ton of players that probably would have went top 10 in any other draft class. A lot of these organizations had plans about, listen, it was a ton of wide receivers. The quarterback position, all those teams at the top, they didn't need a corner. They needed either a quarterback, a receiver, or offensive lineman. And also you didn't want to miss out on the run.
Can I say something?
Go ahead.
If Sauce Gardner, Patrick Surtain were in this draft, they would have still got drafted in the top 10, my guy. I promise you. They're difference-making cornerbacks.
Listen, man.
He was never considered a difference-making cornerbacks don't even really play in those little all-star games. They already know where they're going.
You're comparing. You're trying to compare him to generational guys here, right? I mean, look.
And I'm not hating on him because I hope he does.
You are hating on him. You are hating on him.
But I'm saying
you are hating on him because here's the reality. He was the best corner in his draft class, bar none. Bar none. Terrion Arnold went right after him. Terrion Arnold was a really good corner at Alabama. Quinyon Mitchell, really good corner. Now, again, I'm not saying because again, you're comparing. Was the best corner no, stop. You're comparing him to Sauce Gardner, a generational corner. Jalen Ramsey, a generational. Those corners don't fall off trees like that.
They do though.
So, no, they don't.
Every year in the draft, there's always when those years come up, they are the guys, and it's not like. Stop. Move up to make sure they got it.
Because here's the thing. I'm not gonna let you do that. I'm not gonna let you do that.
If think about the guys that were drafted in the top 10 that don't even start.
Slow down. You a guest. Slow down.
He was still drafted top.
Because here's the reality. BG, I love you, but you a guest. I love you, but you a guest. Here's the reality. Quinyon Mitchell could have went to any school in the country. Alabama wanted him. All them schools wanted him. The reason he fell in the draft is because of the school he went to. If he would have been at any other program, he'd get drafted in the top 15, probably top 10. I believe that's a fact. That's a fact. Nick Saban said it live on television. We wanted this guy. We was trying to poach him from Toledo, but we couldn't get him. They had Terrion Arnold, and they still said we was trying to poach Quinyon Mitchell. Quinyon Mitchell, bar none, is the best cornerback in his draft class. He could have went to any.
He never played at Alabama.
He could have went.
They wanted him. He never played in the SEC.
He told them no.
Top elite talent. So who cares if they wanted to get him?
He told them no. He told them no. That's what you're not understanding. He told them no. He decided to stay. He decided to stay.
He's a better football player because he told someone no. If he wanted to stick around and be a family team.
No, because I'm not going to allow you to dismiss his skill set.
He's a great character.
No, I'm not going to allow you to dismiss his skill set. I'm not letting you do that.
No,
I'm not letting you do that.
Should have been there.
I'm not going to allow you to dismiss this kid's skill set because at the end of the day, you are.
He sucks.
No, you're dismissing the skill set right now.
And him and Dejan to not play the next year, because you're really looking at it, that's really what it's setting up for. Dejan to play next year, Ringo to play next year, and Mitchell to play next year. Your 3 young bulls to play next year. This is what they want.
This is what they want because they're trying to set up a game. This is the long game here because you're not wrong technically, but this is the long game they want. This is the situation they're trying to gear up. They want Quinyon Mitchell and Keely Ringo on the outside. And then Cooper DeJean, his versatility, they probably want him at nickel or maybe at safety. But the reality is this. Quinyon Mitchell, this is the fact. This is not opinion. He had his pick of the litter. But the only reason he went to Toledo is because they was the only program that didn't skip out on him. He went through issues in high school with his grades. All those other programs left him because they couldn't justify bringing him in because of his grades. That brother went to Toledo, and he could have went to any school in the country, any school he wanted to. But he stayed at Toledo because those were the guys that helped nurture his talent. Those were the people that believed in him. He could have left at any point. It could have got drafted in the top 10. Let's be totally real about this. A lot of these guys that get drafted in the top 10, top 15.
No, that's not true either.
I'm not finished. I'm not finished. A lot of these guys that get drafted in the top 10, a lot of these guys that get drafted in general, they get drafted based off of where they went to school. And they still be trash. And I hate using the word trash. I hate that word. But a lot of these guys get drafted based on what school they went to. Let's keep it real. Like,
okay, Tone.
So what I'm trying to say is Quinyon Mitchell still got drafted. Let me see. What was it? 20? He still got drafted 22 overall, going to Toledo. If he go to Alabama, LSU, he easily get drafted in the top 15, top 12. Easily.
But there's no cornerback drafted in the top 10, top 15 this year. None of them were that good enough to get drafted there.
But I'm telling you.
Listen, Tone, now. Harry Arnold in most people's mock drafts was rated higher.
I'm not talking about Terry Arnold. I'm not talking about him. I'm talking about one guy.
But he's from Alabama, and that's the point I'm trying to make. He still didn't get drafted in the top 10 because he wasn't that elite like those other Bulls. Like, the for sure can't miss guys are for sure can't miss no matter what.
But you're proving my point. Remember, like I said, Nick Saban wanted Quinyon Mitchell when he had Terry in the building, which says what? He's better than Terry Arnold in his eyes. So maybe Terry Arnold was properly drafted. But Quinyon Mitchell, the only reason he went where he went is because he went to Toledo. That's the only reason. They was talking about the competition he went up against and all that kind of stuff. He was the best corner. He was the best cornerback in college. He could have went anywhere, but he stayed at Toledo.
To prove it, you should have did it. You should have went to Alabama. He would have been dropped that.
He didn't have to. Really that good. He didn't have to. But the bottom line is this, right? We ain't got to stay on this.
No, because everybody likes to think I'm arguing the fact like I'm trying to say this guy's trash or something. Like, it's not that point. I'm just saying the overall pool of cornerbacks was not like other previous year. That those pool, they had the number one cornerback where you could not miss. Like, I need to get them. Like, even if a team needed, like, say you needed a cornerback or in another position, you went cornerback because that guy was so good you would never ever pass on it. Like you say, generational talent or whatnot. You could have passed him, but we didn't have that in this draft. Like, even this draft.
Here's the problem. Here's what you're overlooking.
Was Latu.
Here's what you're overlooking.
I didn't think none of these corners were better than having.
Here's what you're overlooking, though. Here's what you're overlooking. You're overlooking a crucial fact here. You're overlooking a crucial fact. A lot of those top teams, because again, where you're drafted depends a lot on which teams have those top 5, top 10 picks. Which positions are deeper than the others in the draft, and a lot of these teams looked at the draft board, and you know what they said? They say, you know what, offensive tackle, it's a drop off. We don't want to miss out on those guys. Quarterback, it's a drop-off. You don't want to miss out on those guys. Wide receiver, it's a drop-off. They wanted to get those guys early. This is the first draft we've ever seen where the first defensive player didn't get picked until pick 15. So again, the bottom line is I'm trying to move on. Let's move on. I don't want to stay on this. The reality is Quinyon Mitchell was drafted where he was drafted, and the Eagles got him. So the Eagles got blessed in the end of the day. I'm not even tripping about that. Let's move on to another topic.
But the whole point of that is you don't have to.
I want to move on.
The first game of the season.
Listen, I'm not worried about that. This is the modern NFL. The nickel. Stop. This is the modern NFL. All these teams are playing nickel most of the time. So regardless if you want to split hairs and say, oh, cornerback 1, cornerback 2, this is the modern NFL. Most of these teams, most of these defenses are never in base most of the time. They're in nickel, which means your cornerback 1, your cornerback 2, and your nickel are starters. So regardless of how you want to split the hairs, he's going to start this year.
Yeah.
Now I want to ask you this, right? I want to talk to you about James Bradberry because he had a press conference, I think, last week, right, where things got real hairy for him. Give me your perspective. Give me your perspective on James Bradberry and his standing with this team. As of right now, he's competing for a spot at safety. Give me your thoughts on James Bradberry right now.
Now that he's at safety, man, like it goes back to what Vic Fangio said again. Not a lot of guys can convert from cornerback to safety.
Exactly.
You're pushing the guy. James Bradberry said it was his choice. He seen the young talent. It was his choice after having a horrible season last year, which I think everybody on defense had horrible season. So I don't know why we actually throw it so hard on him to where, 2 years ago you're all pro and now you're not supposed to be a starter in the league. That's kind of weird to me, but I get it. He had a bad season. He admits he had a bad season, whatever. But I think think about it. We don't have that many good safeties right now. You know what I'm saying? Brown's still hurt. Blankenship gets hurt, and CJ gets hurt. So he's an old school coach, Fangio, and Bradbury's more of a zone cornerback anyway. So you can put him back there in the back and let him do his thing. He's smart. That's one thing you can't say. Bradbury ain't no stupid cornerback. Bradbury made plays last year, even though we hate on him. He still made some plays last year for our football team in crucial situations. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing. You gotta lower your hate expectation for some of these guys and realize that Bradbury had an off and on season. It was off Pro Bowl, off All Pro. You know what I'm saying? He has an up and down season in terms of the cornerback spot. But I think if being second team automatically, when you decide to switch over, you're automatically on second team is saying, and Fangio saying, it's very hard for it to be done. But you think about, we had, what's the boy? The guy we got right now. Damn.
CJ?
CJ, he was a cornerback that switched to safety when he came to our team. He wasn't a safety before. You know what I'm saying?
He's nickel, yeah.
Then you got Malcolm Jenkins, who was a corner that switched over to safety that actually did good. The Woodsons, Charles and Rod Woodson back in the day that switched over. So I think that since he has made it to those levels of Pro Bowl.
Think about the names you just said. You said Rod Woodson and Charles Woodson. You just named a Hall of Famer.
But I'm talking about guys that make it to All Pros and Pro Bowlers that can do it.
James Bradberry has one Pro Bowl and 1 second team All Pro. He has one. James Bradberry has 1 Pro Bowl and 1 second team All Pro on a defense where the defensive line got over 70 sacks.
But he still did it. You can't take it away from him.
You're right. I can't take it away from him because it happened. But the reality is this, right? The moment those sacks.
How you don't go to the Pro Bowl, but you're All Pro?
No, I didn't. No, I didn't say he didn't go to the Pro Bowl. I said he was a Pro Bowler.
But that year it was Slay went to the Pro Bowl and he wasn't All Pro. We thought Slay was better, and that was the year that I think he made All Pro and didn't go to the Pro Bowl.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how that stuff works. That should get weird. That should get weird.
That's weird.
But for me, James Bradberry's best year was when he had CJ behind him, and that D line got over 70 sacks. But that D line looks different now, and also Bradberry, he's lost equity with that organization. I think he saw that cornerback room and he said to himself, I can't run with these young guys. So he's trying to find a spot here.
That's his weakness, is his speed.
And that's a big deal.
But his brain's not a weakness, it's his speed.
Exactly. But guess what?
Back.
But guess what, man? To your point though, I have a hard time seeing the light when it comes to James Bradbury, if I'm being honest. And when you're a safety, he said it himself. When you're at safety, your tackling ability has to be much better. You can't be afraid to get physical back there. And he did not show you one inkling of being physical in 2023. None. He was chop suey every week.
Yeah, like Twist says, you're not really allowed to hit anymore. So I don't know what kind of hits you're expecting no more. Slay don't hit nobody like that.
I ain't talking about hitting the hit stick. I ain't talking about that. I'm not talking about the hit stick. I'm talking about being able to tackle, period. He can't tackle, bro.
I don't know about that. You don't stay in the league this year and make it be an all-pro and not be able to tackle nobody.
Bro, Darius Slay can't tackle.
The thing is, you can't get overhyped about it. We seen him make plays 2 years ago, dude. It was 2 years ago. And even last year, he made some plays. It wasn't like he was told. Everybody on that defense was buns. And that was more coaching. So how much you going to give to the coach and putting these guys in the wrong position? You even heard Slay talk about
I will say that,
it was different last year when you had 2 rookies, behind us, that's supposed to be giving us calls and tell us what to do. You're Slay, who no one gives any hate on, really, tell you how it was harder last year not having veteran safeties back there, or when CJ and them were back there being able to help them out in the backfield. Sometimes they don't even hear the call, and they're just out there looking stupid. You know what I'm saying? That stuff was horrible. Everything was so horrible.
It was
on that defensive side of the ball last year. That's just like, I can't put one guy's saying that one guy's worse.
Oh no, I agree with you on that. I would never put it all on one guy, but I definitely can acknowledge his shortcomings. Let me ask you this though: what's your perfect? And again, think about it from a nickel perspective, right? Who are your top 5 DBs in week 1? Who's your starting 5 DBs in week 1? Go.
The first week of the season, we're going with Darius Slay. We're gonna go with Rodgers. I think he holds out and keeps it. We're gonna go with Quinyon. I think they want him on the field, obviously. You got CJGJ. I want to say Blankenship, but I think that Bradbury could be better than Blankenship.
So who's that 5th guy? Is it Bradbury or is it Blankenship? Which one?
Second stream right now. I'm going to give it to the veteran. Fangio's defense, he likes older people back there in the key spot, especially like a safety spot. So even if he's his deep safety and let CJGJ roam around and do the box stuff, and he can be the deep safety. So I think.
So Bradbury, is that what you're saying? Because the fact you're hesitating tells me everything I need to know.
I think it's possible.
I want to know what you want.
What I want? I really want Sidney Brown to be starting, but he can't. That's not.
I mean, he's gonna be hurt. I mean, we can't. I mean, we got to operate what we know.
That's what I want. I want Sidney.
No. Okay. Well. Okay. What do you expect? What do you expect? That's probably a better way to put it.
You forgot about Cooper DeJean, but he hurt too, so he's gonna take time for him to come back. Really, like, I like Blank, but I'm just saying, I feel like if I know Fangio, like, I feel like I see what he's trying to do with this defense. I wouldn't be surprised if it is Bradbury, if he's still on the team. Because someone said they're trying to keep him to be a corner. You don't let the guy go to safety and you're trying to train him to be corner.
And they paying him a lot of money this year. So
that's the reason why we got him.
So that's Darius. So you said Darius Slay, Isaiah Rodgers on the outside, Quinyon Mitchell at nickel, CJ Gardner Johnson, and James Bradbury.
Mm-hmm. Most likely it's going to be Blankenship, though. But I'm saying, like, if it works out to where this was a move that he knew he was making, and he's going out there and he putting it in, like, he hasn't moved to third team yet. You know what I'm saying? He hasn't dropped the depth chart yet. So they said he may play his last practice. So who knows? Like I'm saying, like
I agree with you to a point. I think I agree with you to a point. I think Blankenship is going to be that safety, not Bradbury.
Well, yeah, everybody expects that because it's his job to lose.
Yeah,
you
so
know
that's
why he's been a starter at the other spot, so it's like it's his job to lose. But like I said, I don't think that his talent level is that much higher than Bradbury's talent level to where Bradbury couldn't take it from him.
Okay. All right. Now, before I get you out of here, I got a game I want to play with you. This so far has been listen, my friend. This is why I bring you on here, right? Because you always know what to say to ruffle my feathers.
And I just want people to look at the other side. I think people get so one-sided. And you gotta look at both sides. There's possibilities on both sides. Neither one of us. Of course. Be wrong. Both of us be right. You know.
Here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. We at the end of the day, we all want the same thing.
Wins.
But we just have a difference in philosophy when it comes to certain aspects of the team, and that's perfectly fine. So I appreciate you for coming on and challenging my perspective, and I'm sure you appreciate me for challenging yours, and this is what makes good content, right? This is what makes a fun show when we're able to go back and forth and we're able to drill our opinions in. So again, I appreciate you for coming on.
Y'all thought this was bad, y'all can go back to the Bird Brain podcast.
Yo,
on BGN. But
you see, that's why I left. That's why I left.
Epic shows over there.
That's why I left.
Even that bad, I don't think we've got fully into it.
BG, you know I love you, man. You know I love you, bro. Make sure you guys smash that like button. Again, I got a game I want to play with you before you get out of here, my friend.
Let's go.
Make sure you guys smash that like button. Make sure you guys stay locked in on the content. Please subscribe to BG, man. He does. Listen, he does a fun show. He does a great podcast with JC, JC Sports Talk. So make sure you guys stay locked in, smash that like button. Make sure you guys click the links as far as the merchandise. Stay active. I appreciate all the love you guys provide.
I love that Apex shirt. I'll be giving one time.
Word. Thank you, bro. I appreciate that. Thank you, bro. I really appreciate it. So make sure you guys continue to stay active. You guys are locked in on Chalk It Up Sports, where no matter if we win or if we lose, we just got to charge it to the game. I appreciate you guys. So BG, here's the game.
Okay.
It's a word association type of game, right? Okay. So I'm going to give you a name or a word, and you have to say the first word, a single word, or the first thing that comes to your mind. Okay? We got about 14 or 15 options here. So let's roll. All right.
I'm ready.
Number 1, Jalen Hurts.
Goat.
Nick Sirianni.
Hanging on by a thread.
Oh man, hanging on by a thread. Okay. Saquon Barkley.
Best running back in the NFL.
You heard it here first.
This year, he's gonna be the best running back in the NFL. CMC, sorry guy, you've been doing too much over there in San Francisco.
Number 4, Eagles.
Best team in football.
I like it. I love it. Number 5, Dak Prescott.
Tony Romo 2.0.
Ooh. Number 6, AJ Brown.
People gonna hate this one, but best receiver in football.
I ain't mad at it.
Best overall receiver in football.
Listen. Like I told you, I'll take AJ against anybody. I don't care who it is.
I think
listen, take your pick. So I ain't mad at that. Number 7, Howie Roseman.
King of the cap, best GM in football. Best GM in the world, probably. Any sport.
Number 8, Daniel Jones.
If you watch me, Danny Fustamps, man, trash. Danny Fustamps is trash.
He is awful. Number 9, CeeDee Lamb. I gotta give him his flowers, yo. You gotta give him his flowers. I
don't like giving any cowgirls a flower.
I feel you.
You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna say this about just respect. He's a top 5, top 10 receiver.
Okay.
He's good.
Number 10, Giants.
Trash.
Number 11, Devontae Smith.
The second best receiver in football.
Okay. Number 12, Darius Slay.
Final hour.
Final hour. Interesting. Jerry Jones.
Delusional. And I would have to say he's getting that dementia stuff, that old people stuff, but delusional definitely, yeah.
Number 14, Cowboys.
Choke artists.
Number 15, Commanders.
Up and coming.
Okay.
I think they're gonna end up being second in the division this year.
Interesting.
Be Eagles, Commanders, Cowgirls, Giants.
Okay. And last one, number 16, Super Bowl.
Eagles, man. What the hell?
That's how I love it.
We winning it.
That's what I like to hear, baby.
I'm already ready. I'm gonna have me a trip ticket for New Orleans early because we're gonna be in New Orleans, and I'm in Alabama. I can just drive over there.
Yeah, you can drive there. That's right there.
I'm gonna drive over there and be ready for that game because I think Eagles fans need to get excited. And that's why, like I said, that Super Bowl year, I predicted a lot of that Super Bowl year because I felt it from the jump. You don't have to second guess. Last year, you had to guess with new coordinators that were rookies, first-time coordinators, and all this other stuff that was going on. There was other stuff going on. And Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter, are they going to be, and it takes even Jalen Carter had a good year. It wasn't great. He ran out of gas too. So you need these guys to develop, but they develop. It's like the second year, even though they got different corners. I feel like we've been running this defense for 3 years now, a version of it. So it's not like it's really that different from what they already know, and then it's just going to be a lot better because, the chef is actually cooking instead of, his little apprentices. And on the offensive side, man, we just got 10 times better at Saquon Barkley. That's a dramatic change. I think people don't even give enough credit to, they don't give enough credit to the impact that he's going to make for this football. It makes everybody's job. Every time you add another star, it's just like basketball, right? When you add another star in your basketball team, they get that much more elite, right? Remember when the Golden State kept winning championships, so they had 5 starters that were all starters or bench starters, you know what I'm saying? Because you kept going. And the only way you beat them is if you kept getting more guys that want to come to your team. And that's what the Eagles are doing. We're getting guys that want to come and embrace the culture, come to our football team, add on to a star-studded lineup already, and we're playing selfless football. So I think with that, we can get over the hump this year.
I love it, man. I love it. Please promote the YouTube channel, my man. Let them know how to find you, bro. Do all that.
I know some of you guys don't like the tech, but hey, that's what I do. You know what I'm saying? I want you to be as confident as me because I think as Eagles fans, that's our job. You know what I'm saying? Our job is not to listen to the media and try to be the same as them. Oh, question this player, question that player. It's about getting it done, giving love to all the players that are playing on your football team, bleed and die green like I do, baby. And yeah, hit that subscribe. Try to get to that 10K. I got some new merch coming out too with Print Champs. I got the Howie Roseman King got a cap shirt from Print Champs too. I need to get that on my YouTube. It's on my Twitter, but I need to get that on my YouTube. And then me and Jesse too. I just talked to him today. Actually, we're working on some new stuff too. That's gonna be coming. That's gonna be fire. So it's gonna be nice, man. Hey, man. Like I said, it's always a pleasure, man, working with you, brother. Like I said, I'm gonna get you on a couple of podcasts.
Listen, just let me know when you need me. Just let me know when you need me.
Because I told you if I can get you and Trey at the same time, we're doing it again. You are honorary member, my guy. It ain't got you got to do a weekly thing with it, but when we get us all together, it's gonna be the Bird Brain podcast.
Just let me know whenever you need me, bro.
We got all got the angles, and I love what you're doing with your, everything, man. The new logo, the new everything set up is looking nice, man. I like that you went out and you learned, you brought it to fruition, man. And you keep grinding, man. That was smart by you, I think. Even though you were had a little moment of not really being on your channel that much, we missed it, but it was smart and it made you a better overall, content creator as a whole, man. And I respect it, man. Nothing but respect. Forget the numbers on here. You can have the highest numbers and do nothing. You know what I'm saying? And what you're doing is you're dropping knowledge. You know what I'm saying? And I started to see your people really give you love and let you know that you are one of the best in the game right now. You know what I'm saying? Bro. You hot. You know what I'm saying? You hot. So
thank you, bro. Thank you. That means a lot.
I'm trying to get back on there too. You know, my work schedule be so crazy now. I don't get a
listen,
chance.
man.
It was easy to drop 3 videos a day when you're in COVID. You know, you get
COVID changed the game.
It was easy. I was like, oh, I changed the game, baby. No one doing it like me. 3 lives a day, baby. 3 lives a day.
You was going crazy. You was going crazy. Yeah.
I still try to make sure when I am live streaming, I'm live streaming with like talented people. You know what I'm saying? Live streaming with people that's going to come out there and talk some real football and about, you know, have some real opinions that, you know, you really want to listen to. And I am going to start doing some early morning ones. The way my job set up, I'm gonna start doing some morning live streams. I think, you know, coming up here short. I got some time that free up, so I want to get back to my people too, because I think I lost a lot just because I stopped giving so much content. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you were pumping out so much content.
Yeah, I was putting out so much at that time. I think, you know, things happened in life, and it made it to where I was like MIA for a while, and they demonetized me for something I didn't even know what was going on. You know, and it took for me, you know, once they demonetize you, like, they don't push your stuff out no more. Like, they don't push out at all. Like, I had guests and nothing was getting pushed out. And I was like, what the hell's going on, you know? But then luckily my boy Philly Mike hooked me up, because I told him, man, I got Philly Mike, I keep applying, you know, to not give my monetization no more. He's like, I go, you deal with the same thing. Like, what was it? He goes, man, you got to go through it and just erase anything that don't have your face in it. Because I used to love giving you guys the clips, you know, practices. I had a nice little source and whatnot. So I went on and erased all that, and I'm monetized again, and we're building it back up, baby. It's building slowly but surely back up to what it needs to be. And like I said, you know, it's all of our goals to just give you the best Eagle content we possibly can give you. And I think when you're locked in with guys like Tone DeShields, Bergen 31, JC, you know, even though cats on the Birds of Broad Street, you know, Tone, Simone with the sports, LB, you know, Philly Mike 500, Joey Shake, like all those guys, man.
So
like,
many of us, yeah.
When you rocking with these guys, man, I'm just blessed to be able to talk to you guys, like, you know, hang out with you guys, you know what I'm saying, on screen, share the screen with you guys. So I remember when I was that guy at work every morning with my headset on, and all I was doing was listening to all you guys, you know what I'm saying, like, listening to all you guys. But thank God for COVID, because now I'm doing it, you know, I'm doing it, I'm on here with y'all. So I'm just blessed to be on the platform with you guys, and, you know, we're gonna all grow, we're gonna all get better, and we're gonna all keep pumping that Eagle Green out, baby.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. BG, man, as always, is love. You know how we give it up here. You know how we give it up here. We're always gonna get passionate. We're always gonna have the same goals in mind at the end of the day. And again, bottom line, I just appreciate you being able to take the time out and kick it with me, my guy. Like I always say, man, you know, it's love. You reach out to me, I'll do whatever I can to try to make sure I can make it happen for you. And it's straight like that, man. So you guys, this was none other than Bergen. Yes.
I love when you say that. You know what time it is, Tone.
Well, listen, you know, the bottom, but BG, here's the thing, right? You know, they're tuned in to Chalk It Up Sports, right? They know what it is, what we do here. I'm always going to bring the passion. I'm always going to bring the energy. I'm always going to bring that analysis, right? And you're always going to get that from Chalk It Up Sports, where no matter if we win or if we lose, we just got to charge it to the game. You dig me? And it's straight like that. BG, I love you, bro. I'm going to catch up with you, all right?
All right, big dog.
All right. You guys, that was fun. BG always brings the energy, man. I got a lot of love for BG because, you know, BG brings out a side of me that I don't always try to expose sometimes, right? You know, when I talk to BG, I always feel like I'm standing on the block arguing with somebody about sports. That's honestly what I feel like, and that's why I brought him on, because I wanted Monday to be a very exciting show, right? I know sometimes we come off the weekend and we drowsy and things of that nature, and sometimes the weekend could kick our behinds and Mondays suck. So I wanted to bring somebody on Monday that I knew for a fact was going to bring energy, that was going to disagree with me on certain things, and was just going to be an ultimately fun show, right? Somebody that's going to say some things that a lot of you guys disagree with. But the one thing I can always say about BG is he's passionate about what he does. He's passionate about what he says. And at the end of the day, he's passionate about these Philadelphia Eagles. He wants what you want. He wants a Super Bowl. He wants a Jalen Hurts MVP. You feel what I'm saying? He wants the Pro Bowls, the All Pros. He wants to take the heads off of all the opposition. You dig what I'm saying? So we all want the same things, but we all may disagree in philosophy, and that's the beautiful thing about the sports thing, right? You know, we have camaraderie. You know, sports are tribal. You know, you have your squad, and you know, you say to yourself, okay, it's my guys versus your guys. And that's the fun thing about it, man. So I appreciate all of you guys for locking in on the show the way you guys have. Before I get out of here, I got to do some housekeeping as always. Make sure you guys obviously stay tuned in to every live stream, every live show, because there's a chance that you may be a giveaway winner, like my girl, Keisha White. Keisha White was last week's giveaway winner. She received her gift today. Shout out to Keisha. Want to give her flowers as well, along with Mark Johnson. My man Mark Johnson, right? And I'm going to show you guys this, right? Mark sent me a photo of him with his Chalk It Up gear. I'm sorry, not his Chalk It Up gear, but his prize from the giveaway. This is Mark Johnson. Mark Johnson won the Kelly Green snapback from the Chalk It Up Sports giveaway. And you too can be like Mark Johnson. You too can be like Jameer Adams, who also received his gift. You too can be like Keisha White, who received her gift today. All you got to do is lock into the live streams every time we're here, and you'll never, ever miss an opportunity to win. Everyone's going to have an opportunity to take home some Eagles merchandise, right? But you got to stay locked in whenever we do our giveaways. We're typically doing our giveaways once a week, and they're likely going to be done on Tuesdays. So, am I doing the giveaway tomorrow? It's very likely, but you got to tune in, and you'll find out exactly what the rules and regulations are when you lock in. On top of that, make sure you guys lock in with the Chalk It Up merch. The link is pinned to the live. Make sure you guys go check out the stuff, man. That Apex Predator vibe is what we on, man. You know, we're at the top of the food chain. They got to kill us. They got to take us out. You dig me? This is what we are. This is what an eagle is. There's no animal in the Eagles ecosystem that's above them. There's nobody in the NFL that I put above the Philadelphia Eagles. Anybody can get it. Anybody can catch these hands. You feel what I'm saying? So that's the type of time we on, y'all. Make sure I go check out my man BG's content. Please go check out the merchandise. The links are pinned everywhere on my channel. The links are in the live stream. The shirt comes in 2 colors. Make sure you guys go bless yourself for the Eagles season, and you guys will be looking your ultimate best. The shirts are an oversized style, so I'm wearing an extra large. That's my size here. I'm 6 feet, about 220 pounds. So I like my shirts, you know, I like the oversized look, and that's what you see here, man. It's that streetwear style, and I appreciate you guys for all the support you guys have given me thus far. All right? So without further ado, that's our show. Make sure you guys smash that like button before you get out of here. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. Make sure you guys hit that notification bell as well. It goes without saying, you guys. It's always love. I'm grateful for you. Stay humble, stay healthy, and most importantly, stay hungry. I'm your humble host, Tone DeShields II. You guys were locked in on a very electric dose of Chalk It Up Sports, where no matter if we win or if we lose, we just got to charge it to the game.